Good evening everybody. Happy Sunday one and all. I hope you're doing well and have had a lovely weekend so far. Let me swap on over to the regular scene and pop the audio on. There we go. Good evening. Who have we got in tonight? We've got Drizzling Rose, the Cow King, Mitar Tessio, Edwards, Andy Magyar, Fierce Boy, good evening to you. Medket, good evening to you. Darkwing, Apophis, Jack's here, and Game Cat, and Rasheen. Good evening, one and all. I hope you're having a lovely weekend so far. Hypnosis, good evening to you. Have I got your name correct? And Bosmits, good evening to you. I hope you all had a good weekend so far. Lots of gold making, hopefully. Lots of fun in the World of Warcraft. We've got Dark Moon Fair on in the background here at the moment, so it's going to be interesting what kind of things we might be able to get on and do later on today. Probably won't do a lot of things with the Dark Moon Fair. I didn't do the small boat event that I talked about last week myself, but I wonder if anyone did. The Wowhead blog will be going live, where we'll be discussing, amongst other things, the TSM 4.10 alpha, which we've been going through over the past couple of streams, and it's been really nice to see everyone's feedback on that one. My social distance guide, yeah, there we go. That was me earlier. I went for a nice walk out in the fields down the back of our house, and it was nice to be far away from everyone. Wave, good evening to you. I'm doing very well, thank you very much. How about yourself? Let's just make sure everything is running fine, and then we'll talk about various bits and pieces using TSM this evening. So if you do have any questions or want to see anything, we'll go through that. Certainly when I go through the Wowhead blog, because we'll go through the changelog and everything there, if you haven't seen it already. Been an insane Sunday for your gold making. Post on Discord, you've sold 150,000 profit today. That's really nice. So you sold another 60k, so 250k for one day of glyphs and scribe stuff. That is amazing, Edwards. That's a really nice market niche you've captured there, definitely. I think I haven't done so much this weekend because my last time I posted was on Friday, so everything has expired, so I'm going to have to go through and repost everything on. In fact, I might as well start doing that now whilst I'm here, whilst I'm waiting for the Wowhead blog to go live. Might as well start opening up our mail, as we have, what have we got? 97 items total, 359 in the total on mail there. So let's deal with the expires. Do we have enough bag space at the moment? Got a fair amount of random stuff here that we probably need to get rid of and pop into the bank or something, but let's deal with the expires for the moment. Let's post all of this through. We can close down the destroying whilst we open everything up, and we'll just go through and post all of this on as we go. Super close to your Brutal. At that rate you must be, Edwards, definitely. Right, any more expires that can fit? I think we've got everything done, so let's run a auctioning post scan and run through all of this. So we'll just get everything listed on first and foremost before we do everything. Only 4 days left, Drizzling Rose. Wow, that's not far at all. I bet you can't contain yourself with excitement. Giving away your second Brutasaur. That's absolutely amazing. So as we can see here, we've got the this is TSM 4.10 alpha, which I've been going through all this week. It's had a few updates over the course of the week. We'll go through anything that's changed since then. Good afternoon, Doc Otter. Hope you're doing well. Lovely to have you here. What bag organising add-on is that? Noski, that is Addy bags that I'm using, and then I'm also using the TSM extension that comes with it, that you can get in addition to it rather, that and then allows me to categorise things according to my TSM groups, which is really nice. I think it's exclamation mark bags, Jack, I think is the one. The real Ginny, good evening to you. What's the green dot for? The green dot is the same as the text on the side here. So if you've got something that's below minimum price, the dot will be orange. And when you're doing a cancel scan, if you've been undercut, the dot will be red. And it just matches basically what's going on this side and this side. You could always turn it on and off as well, which is one of the nice options here. You can just turn that on or turn it off, or we could turn on other things as well, give ourselves a little bit extra. So maybe we could take the info out and then just use the dots. That's an option. That will give us more real estate to move this across to the side and just use the dots as our code. So we've got a bit of choice there as to what we want to do from that respect. But then we can obviously just go through and reset it back to the default as well, which is always handy to do if you do make any changes and you're not sure about it. Malbrax, good evening to you. Hope you're doing well. Right, all that first lot's posted, so we'll carry on opening the mail for the moment, deal with my expires first, and then we'll carry on and check on the Wowhead blog once it's gone live, and we'll go through that. Testing if you knew. And no worries, Thrilldini. Good evening to you. Hope you're having a lovely evening so far. Right, that's all dealt with. I've swiftly opened. So let's go through and run another post scan. Let's get all of these working. Various things. My posting operations should be all fine from carried over from the from when I went over from the release version over to alpha. It's mainly just the crafting operations that I need to keep an eye on at the moment. Blazing Nemesis, good evening to you. Stream looking very sharp and clear. Did I change anything? No, I haven't. Everything is exactly as it was before. We're doing 720 at 60 frames per second, as it's been for quite a while now. My stream strength is looking quite good though, at 3 kilobits per second, so we should be alright on that front. Oh, Spirit Wolf coming in with 6 months of subbing. That's very kind of you, Spirit Wolf. Thank you very much for your continued support. Let's see a whole load of emotes in the chat for you. Thank you very much indeed. Let's pop those in. Thank you very much. And Camby Sour, good evening to you. He's 8 but couldn't push the mower. I could probably get mad, I imagine so, at that age. Right, let's post down this lot up. It's live on Wellhead. Excellent. Thank you, Jack, for the feedback. There we go. So we're getting a few internal auction errors here as I post, but that's not a problem because TSM will go back and repost those on just like that. So that's not a problem here. So I'll carry on and just finish up opening my mail first, and then we'll go through the Wowhead blog as soon as I've done everything here. It shouldn't take me too long to go through it. Shouldn't take me too long to go through everything at the moment. Yes, this posting speed is partly down to my server as well as TSM Alpha as well. Oh, Kami-sama using your Prime, that's very kind of you. Thank you very much for your continued support. That really is appreciated. A load of emotes for you as well. Thank you very much indeed. More emotes. It's so shiny. It is very shiny indeed. Doing very well. Thank you very much, Spirit Wolf. And Scrufflebutt, thank you very much for the follow. Hope you're doing well. So we've got everything opened up for the moment. We'll just go through and we'll post all this on first, and then we'll go through everything on the Wowhead blog after that. Major differences in the latest TSM. There's a lot of very nice quality of life enhancements. There's things like just being able to adjust the width of your columns, take certain columns out and organize your things and prioritize things that way. The graph is looking lovely. We'll have a look at that a bit later. I'll go through it in a few more details as we go through the stream today. We get a lot of things back we had in TSM 3, and this is true, Rasheen, actually. The crafting window is looking good. There's a few more things I'd like to see it improve on, but that's the main thing. But there's a lot of things that is really nice. I think it's basically, as Gumdrop said before, that it's kind of like the TSM they wanted to release, but weren't quite able to when the TSM 4 came out, and now it's had this another iteration of smoothness. It's definitely a lot more solid. Silent Mouse, good evening to you. My post scan is very fast at the moment, partly down to my server, but also partly down to TSM as well. And it depends on the location I'm in as well. But we'll deal with all of those. Yeah, I think we'll leave the rest of those because those are for disenchanting. So we'll leave those and we'll just post everything on, and then we'll go and have a look at the Wowhead blog in its entirety. Do I sell a lot? I sell a fair amount steadily with my professions. I haven't diversified too much of late. I would like to diversify into more professions. Dual crafting and engineering are next on my list, and then I want to go deeper into all of my professions, so go into past expansions, and then I'll feel almost ready for Shadowlands. If I can manage to do that in that time, that'll be fantastic. Just got your long boy 2 days ago. So excited. Oh, congratulations, it's fans. That's very amazing. I've had a whole load of long boys in the chat. Congratulations on your major milestone achievement. That's brilliant. Just finished plus 14 with 1/3 time left. It went so smooth. You had 84,000 HPS on the last boss. Didn't feel very stressful at all. Very nice. That's mastery stacking for the win. Fantastic, Tristan Rose. That's very nice. Alright, there we go. Let's go and have a look. I'll get the link for the Wowhead blog and then we can sort that out. Right, there we go. That's gone up, and then we'll go. And NickPop24, thank you very much for the follow. Love the name. Alright, let's go through here and let's copy that. Just going to adjust my commands, so that's all fine. So I'll go through and edit this one, and then I'll paste that in. There we go. Submit that. Right. Okay. So let's go have a look at the Wowhead blog. Wowhead. There we go. That should be the link to the latest Wowhead economy wrap-up blog, number 128, which is amazing to have. Talking about my sell rate, was that any plans to go over Shadowlands professions changes? Not at this point, Malenko, because it's still very much in sort of data mine state. I do mention it at the bottom of the blog if you are interested in that, because Wowhead themselves have done a very nice summary of the professions as they stand in Shadowlands, so that would be well worth a look at if you are considering seeing what the state is at the moment, although it's obviously very much a case of none of it's been tested yet, so we don't know how it's going to end up, certainly. Enable it in your general settings tooltip. Yes, you can. So that's part of regular TSM 4, having a look at your own sale rate, and it's now a variable that you can actually reference when it comes to operations and things in TSM 4.10 alpha. But first, before we go into that, let's talk about the first chapter in the economy blog this week. Is a very nice post by Razia Edge, all about flipping and a beginner's guide to flipping. So if you're thinking about flipping, this is a very comprehensive guide about the different types of flips you can do, and this is mainly to do with commodities and profession materials and things like that, rather than actual BOE items. So that's a slightly different market there, definitely. Actually, good evening to you. Hope you're doing well. Says also end of BFA, so some servers will go faster down in price. That's interesting. Do you mean server blades actually selling, Jack? We need this add-on. TSM is great. So if you do want to sign up for the beta, it is definitely available for you to sign up for. BETA. You can go onto the blog on the changelog here, and you can sign up for it. If you're TSM Premium, then you can automatically get enrolled into the TSM beta when it goes live. We don't have there isn't a date for that as yet. And if you do want to go to TSM Premium, please do consider my affiliate link, which is this one, which will is that one? Did I spell that right? Affiliate. Can't spell correctly. No, still can't spell. Let's try that again. One more time. No. It's something like that. Hold on, let me find the right command for it. TSM beta shuffle server Patreon. Which one is it? That's beard length. It's not that one. Where's that list gone? There's the US one. US community, got that one. TSM Vita Shuffle Server. I can't find the command. I used to have a command and it's gone. Oh no, it's down here further. It is just TSM. There we go. Alfredo. It's just TSM. I thought it was affiliate, but it's not. It's just TSM. There we go. There's my affiliate link. That if you do want to sign up for TSM Premium, there's a link there. And then that helped out both me and the TSM team, which would be most appreciated. There we go. Thank you, Mushy. You got there. You got there before me. Thank you. There we are. Right. Okay. Knew it was TSM. It was something. I just couldn't remember which one it was. So back to the Wowhead blog. So we're talking about flipping first before we get on to TSM. So this is basically talking about the three main flavors of flipping: sniping, flipping, and resetting. So basically, it comes with its own warnings. Please do understand the market before you do anything, and a bit of background information on that, which obviously everyone is different, and the way you treat this is different. And I also highly recommend looking at the Undermine journal if you're really looking into sort of your market prices and averages and things like that. You changed because I could not spell affiliate. Yeah, looks like I couldn't either, Mushy. I think TSM is much easier, definitely. I think that one, Darkwing, is t-shirts. Tried flipping dredge leather, but not many people buy it. So I'm stuck with 6,000 of them. It does happen from time to time. Almost, Jack. The wrong kind of tea, though, unfortunately. There we go. We got there in the end. Yes, sometimes when you try and flip things or reset markets, it doesn't always work out as best you can. So it does take a little bit of monitoring, certainly. So Razor Edge was quite sort of upfront, saying about 60% of the long boy came from flipping BFA resources over 2.5 months. So the main thing to look at here is if you're sniping, which is basically just getting all the low-hanging fruit, as it is, anything that's posted substantially lower, and if you can grab it when it's on at a cheap price, then you can literally just scoop up all the cheap stuff and either use it yourself or post it on for a reasonable price. If you can find those and catch those, usually if you're running a sniper scan for various commodities, rather than doing a sniper scan over the whole market, focus on just a few commodities and then it'll run much faster that way. Giant, or is that Giant? Thank you very much for the follow. Hope you're doing well. Too scared of flipping, stick to my glyphs. Yeah, go absolutely with a market you're confident in. The thing I find is the more you do, say, a profession, the more you understand the materials related to that profession, and so your understanding of those materials means that you could more confidently flip as time goes on your market for your server, definitely. Hypop can't keep enough of it on the auction house, sells quickly about 5 bucks. Exactly as Spirit says, it very much can depend on your servers, certainly. To be honest, those flipping guides not good. Post on one coin, because whatever the guy says, it's still not a reliable way of making gold. I would say it's not so much a reliable way. It's probably the wrong kind of emphasis thinking there. It's another method. It's another method to add to your string to your bow in terms of diversity. So whilst I think what this does is actually just open up the eyes of people who may not consider flipping. So it wouldn't be sort of like do this and it's a guaranteed way to make gold. It's just this is a possible way to make gold. This is how you research the markets, and then you can develop it from there, certainly. But I get your point, certainly, in terms of like reliability. It's not going to get you rich fast, certainly, unless you know your market particularly well and you get particularly fortunate with everything you're posting on as well. Red Bull gifting a sub to the community. That's so kind of you to gift it to creatives. Very kind of you indeed. Thank you very much for your support. It's most appreciated. One Point You Flint, Great Flask Undertow, someone undercuts from 600 to 400 or so, posted it back up and made quite a bit more gold. This was before the crash in the market happened at the end of the expansion. That's a good example, Doc Otter. It was knowing when to do it, certainly. You couldn't keep your glyphs on the auction house, sold over 40 today. Wow, that's a decent amount, certainly. Got a corruption piece, shield with a socket indestructible and 12 haste, but you can't sell it for over 1 million. Wow. Have you? I mean, obviously with. I mean, it sounds like a decent shield from what I can understand of the things. I would guess. Try looking at the prices on other servers and see if you can find a happy medium between what you want. Did you actually buy it, or did you actually loot it yourself? Would be the other question. Just hit 3 million on your journey to the Brutal. Oh, congratulations, Recklord. That's fantastic. You looted it. Okay, so you've got a bit more flexibility, perhaps, on the price you're willing to go down to, perhaps. So the first one was sniping, looking at basically catching the ones that are obviously quite a bit lower than the market value. And then the core section here about flipping is basically when to buy up things at a certain point and what kind of costs these will involve. And then this is where you really do need to understand your market, especially for your server. Where is the average price? What could you push this up to? You look at the breaks in the price points. Do you go all the way from here from 400? If they're craft cost is 607. Do you take everything all the way up to the 559? All depends on the number that's available. So it's all kind of like it's a bit of a guess, it's a bit of a risk, but it's less of a risk and less of a guess the more you understand your market. So this is kind of like some really nice examples going through ways you can look at things and what price points to look at for your particular server. And then the last one, resetting, is when you're literally going to go, right, okay, I'm going to buy out all of these, and then I'm going to put them back on at this fixed price because I know they're going to sell for that price. But when doing that, obviously you have to make sure you're around and at a point where things are going to sell quite frequently. So this is quite good doing something like enchants on a reset day itself, because lots of people are getting new gear and then they're handing in and upgrading it with their enchants. So, but there's also other times, raid nights and things like that, where you can maybe take certain items that are in high demand and reset the price to something more more akin to what the market can bear. You made 400,000 since Saturday, 2 tokens. That's fantastic, Drizzling Rose. Very nice indeed. Gibson, good evening to you. Leveling an alchemist at the moment. Is it worth doing all the old world stuff, or should you just focus on BFA alchemy? The old world stuff, the transmutes and living steel, things like that, do still sell. So it's worth doing the whole of alchemy if you can. But as you're leveling, perhaps maybe focus on the leveling side rather than the alchemy side to start off with, because once you've got BFA alchemy, you can always work backwards from there. If you end up with too much stock, you relist a couple of 100 at a time. You sold hexweed bags, 58 hexweed bags for 850 gold each. Very nice indeed. Go for the Vile Mount or set up transmutes. You have alchemy on 8 alts and transmutes and daily cooldowns and stockpile till prices are high. Also keep your pyrium for the Vile Mount. Yeah, that's a really good use of the transmutes, definitely. If you have multiple alts, and alchemy does really work out quite well for that. Need to make in-game chat with a dark background that we can keep an eye on it. It is quite, I guess it is quite light here. If I go to I'd have to go to a slightly darker area of the background perhaps, or change the opacity slightly. That might be easier. I'll go around this way for the moment. Hopefully that will help you for the moment, rather than delving into any settings at this stage. Your server, Silver Moons, is odd with flips. Someone bought out 150 flasks, but none were reset. Only 5 are up 900 gold, and the usual is 400. Very interesting. I can change it again, Jack, but I'll just leave it here for the moment. People can see me typing in game. So obviously this comes with its own warnings and sort of like cautionary tales, and then a whole load of tips as to factoring in the auction house cut. Remember to diversify, think about the competition, look for opportunities. Don't attempt to reset before going online. I've done this myself from time to time and definitely haven't reaped the rewards from that. What's a good source for golden pearl? Sometimes auction house has none. The golden pearl, is that... Now, I may be wrong, but is the golden pearl the one if I go to the map, if you go down to the blasted lands and go to the Zidormi and go back to the previous one in history, and there's a whole load of Naga down here at the red reaches, and they drop clams, and in there might be golden pearls. I might be thinking of the wrong pearls, but that may be something. I'm thinking Crusader orbs is my thinking on this one. Let me just have a look. If I go for the Crusader enchant, is it that I'm thinking of? There's something in my list in enchanting that uses golden pearls, I believe. Let me have a look. Favourite shopping, is it in any of these? Shopping enchanting mats. I may be thinking of the wrong pearl from this one. Righteous orb I'm thinking of. That might be the wrong one, although that might be somewhere different. Or the golden pearl is that one. I may be completely wrong, but that was my first thought, definitely. I may be even completely the wrong advice there on that one. Mooncloth robe. There we go, Malbrax. Yeah, I knew it was something. Yeah, so it will be on my list, my shopping list for Mooncloth robes. That will be the one. Natty, good evening to you. Hope you're doing well. It's horrible to farm. Is that right, Mushy? Okay, thank you for your feedback on that one. It's not something I've gone through myself, certainly. It is the right pearl. Okay, thank you, Coffee Cat Time. But yes, in terms of farming it, I think I tried it once, didn't get very good results, and so I've never really tried it again. But then I'm not really a farmer, so that may not necessarily be the best person to ask. But as everyone in chat can help you out, certainly. Jules Abson, good evening to you. I hope you're doing well. And Stolpcraft and Basic, lovely to have you here. We were talking about farming golden pearls, Stolpcraft, down in the Blasted Lands. But let's go back to the Wowhead blog. That's the wrong one. That's my stream summary. There we go. Minimise that. Mostly lurking. No problem. Lovely to have you lurking. Right. Okay. So where's my window gone again? I've lost it. There it is. Okay, so this was all the different tips and things to consider when flipping markets. So it's a very comprehensive list, so I highly recommend giving that a good old read, and the comments on the Reddit post as well are worth going through as well for extra ones. They are for the Mooncloth robe series. So next one on the agenda is TSM 4.10 alpha. So if you've been on my streams on Tuesday and Thursday, you saw this went public on Tuesday, and so we had a good old look at it, amongst a few bits of teething issues and things like that. But it's looking like a very, very robust upgrade to the latest iteration of TSM. So I'm really looking forward to once it goes into beta and more people can try it out, certainly. Oh, sounds English and he said blast. So this is obviously my screenshot of my gold from a more positive time, but it's obviously going up and down a great deal nowadays. But we'll have a look at TSM after I've gone through the whole Wowhead blog, so we can go through all the things. If you do want me to go through anything in particular detail, I'm more than happy to go through and check it out, certainly. Farming the turtles in the Swamposaurus. Okay, Cow King, thank you for that one. Yeah, it's not a farm I'm familiar with in terms of doing, but I remember at least looking into it and trying to find out where they came from when I was making my Mooncloth robe. So we've got the changelog here, which TSM have posted on their blog post. So basically this goes through all the different add-on customizations and things like that. I won't go through them all in detail here because we can go through them actually live on stream and things like that. And if you do want to sign up for the beta, there's a sign-up page here, and then there is a priority beta invite through TSM Premium, which we talked about at the beginning of the stream, and then only Sundays number 10. All okay on that? Yes, definitely. So that was Sunday number 2 last week, if that works at all. Thank you, Jack. So basically, there's been an overhaul across the board really on TSM. So there's lots and lots of very nice quality of life additions and enhancements really. So it's looking very nice indeed. Excuse me. We'll go through that in a bit more detail. If you want to look at when we went through it live, there's a summary video here on from Tuesday's stream where I've edited it all down together to about 45 minutes of us going through all the features of TSM, so you can see it all there. It's obviously still being updated, so it's changed already since then. And then I've got a list of all the people who I currently know of who have alpha and who are publicly broadcasting about it. So basically, if you want to look at Twitter, Twitch, YouTube or websites, this is a list of all the sort of large gold makers throughout the community. So pick your favourite and head over there and ask them to show you TSM, and any questions or any feedback you have, please let them know, or the TSM team know directly, and then we'll be able to get lots of feedback. And then the add-on will get even more sort of polished, basically. The more feedback you can give, the more polished it will get. Toggle some sort of inventory value as well on that graph, since TSM only tracks liquid gold. That could be interesting, actually, sort of like how much you've got on the auction house at any one time. Sounds like a cool guy, thank you. It was... the week is divided into 2 days, Sam Stream Day and no Sam Stream Days. I wish every day could be a Sam Stream Day, but I need to divide my time, because I'd like to be able to divide my time with my family as well as my time with everyone here, so definitely. I think we've got a nice happy medium here with 3 times a week at the moment, so that gives me 4 evenings to at least spend with my family. So we'll have a look at TSM in a bit more detail once I've gone through the whole blog itself, because we can see it and we can go through live and you can ask any questions there, and I can show any features that you want me to look at from them. Abim, is that 03TL? Having a great evening. Shuffle spreadsheet is based out of that you have rank 3s, right? Looking today, and my expulsion price said 43 gold, but when I calculated my tailoring bracelet shuffle, it cost me 120 each, so I just changed it to 120 because you don't have the rank 3 for blacksmithing. Oh, right, okay. Blacksmithing doesn't tend to be the most profitable option. It's usually tie spray braces and leatherworking honourable braces, but obviously your server prices may vary. But yes, it is based on having rank 3, certainly. The days go Sunday, Monday, Sunday 2, Wednesday, Sunday 3, something like that. Just not in the graph, exactly as Rasheen says. It's not part of the graph itself, certainly. I mean, I'm not sure how or why you'd want to see your historical auction house value at any one point, other than just keeping a track of sort of like where things have been over time, I guess. Just another way of visualizing it, really. I'd like to see WoW token prices going in the graph. That would be my next suggestion on that front. And then Gumdrops himself has updated the community resource, listing lots of many well-used terms and phrases. Now, this is something we take for granted when you've been in the sort of gold-making community for a while. And so a lot of these sort of acronyms and words we use, like 2x4s and baiting and gold per hour and things like that. So if you're new to gold and you're not sure what people are talking about, this is a very handy list just explaining a few different concepts and common words that are used in the gold making community. So I would highly recommend giving this one a good list. And then if there are any you think of that aren't on the list, head over to the Reddit post and let Gumdrops know there. Don't count yourself rich before you actually sold something, exactly. Crafted more than 10,000 tie spray pants as your realm tie spray with below 2 gold. Now you have to get more than 5,000 pence on the mailbox and vendor them, praying TSM doesn't break. That should be okay, I would think. As long as you do it in small enough chunks, you should be fine. And you'll win again, Muzzletop. Hey, Muzzletop, how are you? Lovely to see you here. How are you and the family? You bought 60k tie spray recently too, but using them to supply expulsum for your characters. Yeah, that's my main reason for my tie spray at the moment, is basically going through all of that. So it's a mission to do. I like to do it during the week whilst I can do a little bit of crafting on the second screen. So it's nice to do whilst I'm at work, certainly. So that's pretty much most of the stuff in the Wowhead blog. I know I skipped over the TSM 4 stuff, but we can go into that into more detail live. And then finally, if you are looking for Shadowlands professions, the Wowhead have got a great summary here, just going through all the different things that we currently know about. It's all from data mined information at the moment, so we don't have any real concrete stuff yet. But I'm looking forward to see how this develops, certainly, when it comes to professions, because this is going to be my main thing when it comes to Shadowlands, and I'm really, really enjoying how the optional reagents are all working together at the moment. So it's very, very nice to see that coming. The status of the auction house at the moment, yeah, definitely. Up to 582 Dark Moon prize tickets from only monthly turning quest items. Wow, that's a lot of prize tickets, Jizzing Rose. Profession gold making, most definitely. Mazel tov. Love to hang around, but need to mow the lawn. Adulting for the win. Hopefully you can catch the end of the stream and watch you later. No problem, Doc Otter. Lovely to have you here. Hope you have fun with the mowing. I always find mowing quite therapeutic. I don't have a big enough lawn to do it at the moment. But that is the Wowhead blog for this week. Do you have any questions? Please do put them in the comments below, or ask me here in chat, and me or anyone else should hopefully be able to answer those for you. So I'll move that one, I'll close that on over. We'll carry on with doing a little bit of restocking and things like that. I'll have a brief look at TSM at the moment. So we're looking at mainly sort of the TSM gold graph, which is one of my favourite parts at the moment. And there we go. Oh, hello. Resubbing for 5 months. Thank you very much, Liv. How are you? And thank you ever so much for your continued support. That is really appreciated. Thank you very much indeed. Resorted to the shuffle of buying some mats just to keep up with the demand. 200,000 made this week, usually only making 50 to 70k. Very nice. Very nice. So yeah, looking at the graph, this is the nice part of the graph, really, is just being able to adjust for your timeline, have a look, see where your spending rose, and obviously see where your spending fell as well. If we reset the zoom, we can have a look here. There was definitely a great big drop here. I don't know what happened there. Already used 40,000 to keep the enchants on the auction house. Wow, actually that's a decent amount of volume, certainly. And you can also select individual or multiple characters in your list, which is really nice as well. So we could just look at Feng Shu, who's hardly made anything at the moment, or if we looked at, say, El Morte, who's fairly recent to the gold making side of things. This part of the graph here pertains mainly to alchemy, and then we changed from alchemy to blacksmithing, and now we're on the blacksmithing rise at the moment. Accounting data being synced across multiple accounts is going to be very nice for those who do have multiple accounts, definitely. Yesterday I was working on TSM API and thinking about what you can do with the whole data. I thought you can put every possible crafting cooldown on a list and show how much is the profit or money spent on one daily cooldown. Put those in a spreadsheet. It's not finished, but would you like to see it? Most definitely, Metcat. Yeah, gets the data from the TSM API based on the given server. Maybe you can give me more ideas, put it, or rather off stream or something. Definitely, Metcat. Send me off a link to that. I'll definitely be interested in having a look. I always like to see a good spreadsheet, certainly. I'll go through, what I'll do first is I'll go through and relist my auctions first, and then if there's anything in particular you want me to see, then we can go through those in more detail. I need to do a restock on Samadan here. In fact, what I'll do is I'll just open everything but my sales. We'll have a look at my sales whilst I'm here, actually. So not a great deal of stuff this week. I wasn't focusing too much on posting things on. That was just needs deleting. So we do have a few sales here, 32,000, Mainly some bit of uncanny gear, some food, some bags, frostweave, netherweave, shirts, quite a few shirts actually, a bit more food, and then just a few enchants, not many in the way of enchants at the moment, but maybe we'll be able to get some more sales once I focus more on the auction house. So we'll add to that 32,000 to my gold at the moment. Run through all of that. Okay, brilliant, Metcat. I'll probably be able to have a proper look at it tomorrow, but I'll look out for it certainly. So with all of that posted on, let's just check. Run a post scan in case there's anything I've missed. Accords of Haste, Bountiful Captain's Feasts, Force Multipliers. The food, I need to go and sort out my operations on these, because I've still got multiple ones with my cooking, which needs to be sorted out, because I've got cooking 20s, 1s, 10s and 5s on those. We don't need those at that stage. How often do I dump my Umbra Shards? Shuffling gets you more than I needed. So what I try to do is, if I get too many Umbra Shards, which I currently have at the moment, I basically use the enchanting and I make Honourable Combatant Sorcerer's Scepters. So this you can see is favorited now, which you can have favourites, which is really nice. And so I make those, and that takes 6 Umbra Shards and 1 Expulsum, and then that will give me 1 to 2 Veiled Crystals as a result. So it's not cost effective. It still cost me like 338 gold according to my prices, but it does turn those Umbra Shards into Veiled Crystals, which is a good way for me to at least get something out of them. With the removal of forging on items in Shadowlands, do you think enchanting will take a dip? I don't think so, McBainey, because enchanting will spread across multiple armor types now, so the number of different enchants you can put on is going to be incredibly diverse in Shadowlands. Why not just buy Veiled? It would be that's certainly an option, Mushy, but the issue I have here is I've got all these Umbra Shards that I don't have any other reason to keep them. I've got like 3,400 in the guild vault, so my main reason is just to try and use up these Umbra Shards a little bit more. I mean, yes, I could maybe just buy the Veils and use up the Umbra Shards in my general enchanting. That could be an option, but I'm not sure how my profit margins will stack up on that front. But it's worth a look into, certainly. So with that, we do have some stuff I need to disenchant here, so this is a good time to have a look at the disenchanting working. Now, for the purposes of testing, I've added a faster loot add-on. Which one is it? This one, faster loot. I've turned this one on because notoriously TSM doesn't work with loot add-ons, especially when doing things like disenchanting. So I'm testing that out at the moment. So I'm going through and I'm going to disenchant all of these coarse leather arm guards and see if I can manage to break it. But it seems to be going quite well so far. Does Destroy get stuck on the new item? It shouldn't do. You see there it flashes up a little red bit of text saying item not valid or something like that, but it doesn't stall, it doesn't prevent it. So we can just keep on going. And I'm just using my scroll wheel mouse at the moment just to keep running through it. This is a great quality of life difference. If I can keep this going, we should be in for a much better disenchant queue. There we go. Item is not a valid target, but it doesn't stop TSM. When you did the shuffle, you bought 5,000 for 2 of 5. Calculating wrong or something. I'll have to look at those figures a bit more detail. Bought 5,000 for 205, 10,000 gold plus nylon thread, 5,000, everything 500 braces, and you got 78 expulsum disenchanted. That was 5 to 10k spared. So if say 9,500 divided by the 78, you get 121. Just think it's 2 gold. It's not kind of like just about the expulsum. It's more about then using that expulsum to make braces, and then using that to then make the failed crystals or something like that. The author of Fast Salute has a version 2 that works better, but it can't get access Can't get access to the restore email. He needs to reset passwords. He lost access to. Oh right, Darkwing. That's interesting. Ravia24, thank you very much for the follow. Hope you're doing well. How do you make TSM show my profit for items that include Expulsum? In my craft report, Expulsum is listed 2 times, one time with a price and 1 time with none. You can't get it to work. That's interesting, Maltese, that you have 2 Expulsums. When I go into my crafting reports, obviously I'm in alpha at the moment, so this will look different to you. But Expulsum is just 1 there, and then I'm using my Bracer Shuffle string to give myself a price for Expulsum at the moment, which currently is telling me 96 gold is my Expulsum price. But you need to give Expulsum a price. You can either use something from the Bracer Shuffle, or you can use something based on the price of, say, about 7 Tide Spray Bracers, or you can put in a manual price. Totally up to you. Johnny Depth 72, good evening to you. So happy I get to relax and join the stream. Caught up on my videos yesterday during your farms. Keep up the great work. Oh, that's so kind of you. Thank you very much. Do I know if I use the 120 boost that came with Shadowlands pre-order, does it also fill up the chosen professions on the character? No, you'll have to do the professions yourself, Fenmax. Or you could be looking at the crafts. Let's have a look. Is there 2 Expulsums there? Oh yeah, you're right, there are 2. Well spotted, Jack. I didn't realise there'd be 2 in the crafts. There's basically... so you need to, instead of crafts, you go to the right hand side, which is material prices, and look at Expulsum there. There we go. There you'll see the Expulsums, multiple Expulsums. I see, yeah. 20 million for the crafting cost. Yeah, that's because I put it up really high manually. I put my Sanguicell price up really high because I didn't want to use that as a cost for myself. So I use this manual price myself. Right, so I won't do the... Should I do the restocking here? No, let's go through and just check my gold on each character first. We can come back and do restocking later, because that'll be a good test of TSM as well. So we'll just go through and post everything on first. So we'll go through Awakening. OG Thug, good evening to you. I hope you're doing well. Thank you very much for the follow. So we're just going to run through my characters first, so we'll have a look at TSM as we go through it. If there's anything you want me to have a look at in particular, please do shout out. And we can go through that in any detail you like, certainly. So last we left Awakening, we needed to get ourselves a proc. We don't have one at the moment, but let's check our gold situation. So what was it? About 32,000 on Samadan, doing better with Alchemy than we did with Samadan. 46,000 on Alchemy, although that's not so much profit, that's just sales. So Focus Resolve, Healing Potions, Greater Flasks, Superior Battle Potion of Agility, loads of those there. So a decent amount of gold there. We'll collect that up. And then we'll post on the things we have. And we'll run a post scan on that. Then we'll do our daily cooldowns, and then we'll check if we get a proc, see if we can restock on these. The material reset button, I know that would be very handy once you've gone through and set a few things. How often do I cancel scan? Make all these sales without doing anything. I tend to, if at most, I will do 1 a day if I do a cancel scan. I might, if I've got time in the morning, I'll go through and I'll do a cancel scan. If I don't have time, then I'll just simply leave it for them to expire, like I have today. I let everything expire, and then I've posted things on at the moment. Right, so that's all taken off. Let me just move over here. Check that. Yep, that's fine. So we'll do our daily cooldown, herbs to anchors, and open that up. And then we'll check for a Silas proc. And we've got continuous curing, so we won't have to do a restock at the moment. So we'll leave that for the moment. We should be alright for all my other stock and bits and pieces. So we'll carry on with the characters. More cancel scans means more sales equals gold, right? To a certain extent. If you post, the auction house does favour those that post little and often, several times during a day. So you don't necessarily need to do a cancel scan. You can just post, say, just a few items each time, and then you'll, because of the LIFO system, you will basically have a higher chance of being up on the list. But obviously, if you do lots of cancel scans, then you are losing your deposit fee. So you need to bear that in mind as well. We'll leave the destroying for the moment, and we'll deal with the expires first. I know it's. I hope, little Ginny, that basically they get into the beta as quickly as possible, so more people can try it out. Certainly, or open out the alpha invites, perhaps. But I think it'll be more a case, realistically, that it will be those that get into the beta will then have access to it. Certainly. You like cancel Andes, you just bait their poor TSM posting officer buys. That is a valid technique, certainly, Mozeltov. I don't tend to do it a lot myself, but if you're not paying attention, you can get caught out by that, certainly. Good evening. Good seeing how quick my post scans are. It makes me want a server transfer. It takes me over 2 minutes to post 60 items. I know, Archmage, I am blessed with a very fast server, thankfully. Let's just open up all my sales. Well, that's interesting. It's not actually opening my gold at the moment, so let's just close that down and open it up. Let's try a reload. If in doubt, reload. I know I've got the icon down there, but sometimes it's quicker to type it. That could be a potential bug, not opening my gold. Let's have a look, try that again. Good evening, Gwilyn. Hope you're doing well. Right, let's try open all mail. Okay. I can't get my gold on this character. Can we get it this way? Yes, we can. Let's get that individually. Okay, that's one to note. There we go. Both in community, along any connections with people from Cursor, any chance? /RL works for reload. Oh, does it really, Kronos? That's good to know. It's because my bags are full. Is that right? Would it be... I mean, I do have... It looks like I do have full bags. Okay, so you won't open your gold if you don't have full bags. There we go. We've got rid of my junk anyway. There we go. I haven't unfortunately got everything, so I can't see that and test it. But I hadn't even thought of that, actually. Having nothing, having no slot spare would mean not having actually anything, any ability to open gold. Alright, let's go through, post this slot on first. And then we can go through and see if we need to restock on these. Let me just check my crafting operations first, just to make sure that those are correct. So I'll go to my groups, go to operations, actually, crafting operations. So that's 1, that's 10, that's 2, that's 20, 3, 5, and test was 20. Okay, so those are all working correctly. So those have stuck since I first had my issues with that. So we've done a post scan. Let's check my auctions. Those are all on, and then we'll check our inscription. Go to my crafting, TSM groups, restock, selected. So 20 war scrolls of battle shout. So let's go to my gathering. I've got everything I need for it, so that's good. So let's go back here and go on to craft next. I'm missing crimson ink. Could that be because it's in my bank rather? Let's have a look on this crimson ink. Let's go for crimson ink. I currently have 600 in the bank. I believe I might have moved those, so TSM can't see those. Reeve, thank you very much for using your Prime. That's very kind of you. I hope I pronounced that correctly using the 1 as a V. Yeah, so my crimson ink is now no longer here, which I did have, which I no longer have, which now TSM has seen my bank. It will go, okay, now you don't have any crimson ink, so let's make sure we make some. And if I go to my TSM here and I hover over this, it now says I haven't got the 160 crimson ink I need. So let's go over gathering wise, we need to craft it. So crafting wise, we'll make our crimson ink and we'll click craft all here. Let that run through, just at least for the ones we need, 159. Have I got my crafting gloves on? Doesn't seem like I might have. Let me just check my character. We've got Culture and Herbalism gloves on. So let's find the right ones, which is those ones. Can't do that right now, so let's just cancel that. Pop those on, Culture and Crafting, and then let's just swap to this one whilst we can see that a little bit easily. And then I'll let that go through. There we go, that's better. Okay, excellent. Well, thank you very much for using your Prime. Welcome on board. Lovely to have you here. Let's have a holiday remote ready for you to use. Thank you very much for your support. It's because the bags are full. Also happens with you on retail. Okay, Kadrov, thank you for the confirmation. It's funny the things that even in my years that I've been using TSM, I never encounter things like that. So it's always interesting coming across them for the first time, certainly. But not by hitting the get sales button, which is exactly the problem we had there. I could pick up the gold individually, but not any other way. So let's just have a look at this whilst it says going through. That's just running through quite quickly. It should be all right. Zini84, good evening to you. Hope you're doing well. Lovely to have you here. Started back at work away from your auctions from 7 till 6. Do you think it would be smarter to repost first thing in the morning or right before bed? Why not both? Would be my first suggestion. I like to personally, when I do my auctions, I do them first thing in the morning because that works for me in terms of my routine. But obviously, doing it right before bed or when you get back to 6:30, that might be quite handy because then you can catch the evening where people are active on WoW. Maybe just do a little bit each time. You post in the morning and at lunch and when you get home, and that's a good spread. Certainly, that catches a fair amount of people, certainly when they're most active. I like the morning because it fits in with reset days and things like that. So we'll just, this is fairly fast, just going through all of this at the moment, and then we'll escape just at the end once we've got enough. It's not a huge amount of profit on these. Looking at these, it's only a 368 profit, 18 gold profit per item. It should probably be enough. Yes, it is. Right, so we'll then go and make the All Scrolls of Battle Shout. It's nice having this tooltip, but obviously because I was keeping things in my bank and not my reagent bank, TSM was unable to track whether I had them or not. So that's a reasonable issue if ever there was one. Right, let's go have a look. Who's this? A Ravenholt Courier. What's that for? Call of the Uncrowned. Strict instructions to let us use spell contents are for you and you alone. Read the sealed letter and follow the instructions within. Interesting. Call of the Uncrowned. That's the Class Hall one, is it? Ah, right, of course. I'm in Dalaran, aren't I? Okay, we could always go and visit that one another time. I do like the whole artifact quests and things like that. They're really good. So let's go through here. A lot of people have that routine, so either you get lucky or you get undercut very quickly. Yeah, it's one way or the other, certainly. Right, okay, so let's run a post scan of the war scrolls we just made. Battle Shout can go on, there we go. And everything else is maximum amount already posted, so those are blue now, and these are green. So with those all posted, we can move on to our next character. So let's go out and have another one. Beginning of server night around 7 PM. Your sales increased a lot when you moved to this time. window on all servers. Yeah, I think that's a pretty good time window curve, definitely. When people are just logging in for their evening's play, they might look for things to buy straight away. Right, so let's carry on through the characters. Decided to level blacksmithing today. Didn't realise just how much expulsum you needed for the uncanny gear. It is a lot of expulsum, certainly. And I haven't got rank 3s for a lot of mine, so I could do with... I've still got a month or two before comp stomp, so I might have to do the odd battleground to get myself some more marks of honour, just so I can get it a little bit better, certainly. Right, let's go have a look here. Pick up our sales. Let's deal with our expires. First and foremost. Blown, thank you very much for the follow. I hope you're doing well. I'm just going through all my auctions at the moment, just listing everything that's expired first and foremost. At the same time, we're also looking at TSM 4.10 alpha. So with all of this on, we should be fine. And then we're down to 20,000 gold this week. Drums of Fury, a few bits of uncanny gear here and there. I've not been super serious in posting up this week, so it's not a huge amount of sales, but it's still enough to tick things through. I'm still reasonably happy with each of my characters and with the money they've made so far. So let's go through auctions, run a post scan on this lot. We'll at least get this lot on. I mean, in terms of auction house speed, this is looking quite good, even for Borealis at the moment. Can we each get 1 million gold in the chat? That would be awesome, Mozeltov. In Legion, there were PvP quests that awarded marks of honour. Did them on your alt, so I have over 200 marks since. I know, serious. I believe I did a fair amount of those quests in Legion, and I wondered where I spent them on. And I've got a feeling that I spent them on some PvP sets, but I don't remember actually doing it. Which profession do I find the most profitable for me? That's an interesting one. I think in terms of pure profit right now, blacksmithing seems to be doing very well with the uncanny gear in terms of the profit margins for the amount I sell. In terms of decent amount of sales, alchemy is up there, but its profits are very much tied into my zenith prices. But that's also very hit and miss depending on whether I get a proc on that. Then other things are like the enchanting and the tailoring work really well together, and I usually get, with enchanting, tailoring, cooking, I usually get a pretty consistent amount of sales with Samadan throughout the year, at any point of the expansion, both old world and new world. It's probably because that's the most in-depth of the professions that I have, so I have lots of different things across all expansions selling. So I would say I could probably do the same with my other professions once I go deep within those, but at the moment, because I haven't, I'm only getting a few sales sporadically. So with all those posted on, do we have to restock on anything? Let's have a look. TSM groups, restock. So we have some Drums of Fury, uncanny gear. Let me just double check my crafting operations are correct on this character. So going through these, 1, 10, 10, 3, 5, 8, 150. Yes, they're all fine. So we can go through here and we'll craft these. So uncanny leather. These, the great thing about this crafting queue now is it's listed in order of profit. So the thing that's most profit is first, and it'll craft that first. So this is a profit of 2,000 for the leather leggings, then 1,300 for the treads, and then the Drums of Fury, profit total of 19 gold. Profit of 19 gold each, 99 gold total. So that's quite nice. I can sell like 30,000 in potions on the other server, but here you never get above 5k each week. It can depend on time, on server, on so many different factors, certainly. Right, we made those, so we'll go and post that lot on. Go into my auctioning tab, run a post scan, we'll get all of that going through. The uncanny sales would be nice. Leggings of the Peerless and Fireflash. Obviously profit was dependent on the variety I got of those, so those are all on. Then let's jump to our next character, deal with the expires on there, and then we can always go back to Samadan and do the final restocking on him, and then make a choice as to what we're going to do next in terms of trying to progress our characters. Check to see how long it takes to get undercut. May have a passionate alchemist on that server. Wonder who. You never know. There's goblins everywhere. Right, let's deal with our expires here. Got some good sales again on blacksmithing. 47,000 in sales for blacksmithing. So that's very nice in terms of the weapons you can see here. So got a deck pounder, another deck pounder. And that deck pounder we sold for 14,000. A deck pounder of the Fire Flash, a shield, cutlass, polearm, and another cutlass. All some really nice amounts in terms of sales. So I would say this is definitely a good profession for me at the moment. I don't have a huge amount of sales, but I do have a steady amount, and we're now at 47,000 gold. What were we at before? 194,000. So that is definitely pretty decent. So let's open up all of those. How will I go about starting fresh on a brand new server with no capital? I would first and foremost level myself up to 120. You can probably get a good sort of 5 to 10,000 gold just through leveling up, and then I would focus on my professions, and then getting more characters to 120. And then I would look out for things like the world quests that offer money as a reward, like the 2,000 gold rewards, and start doing those just to build up my capital, sort of like 10, 20,000, and then I can start investing into professions from there. That's what I would do, because I like to focus on professions. A lot of people would go off and farm raw gold in dungeons and things like that, but the main thing is really to get yourself up to 120 as fast as possible. And like Dombo says, is herb and farm your way up, herb and mine on your way up as well. Then you get XP and you get ore and things like that as you do it. That's what I'm doing on my character Bridget at the moment. How much expulsum are these each? Let's have a look at those. There's a reasonable amount actually. We'll look at what we need to restock on, and we'll see what kind of expulsum we need for that. So that's all posted on. Let me just double check I've got everything there. We do. So I'll go to blacksmithing, and we'll go to restock my blacksmithing. So a deck pounder, need to make one of those. That takes 5 expulsum. And my deck pounder is, let's have a look. Weapons, uncanny, deck pounder. Do I have that at rank 3? That's interesting, we don't actually see the ranks here, do we? Hide column rank, there we go. Now we can see the ranks. And so my deck pounder is rank 1 actually. So I need to do the rank 3 on that for the deck pounder, certainly. I have got the cutlass. Oh no, it's the wrong one. That's the notorious one. I was looking at the wrong one. I do have rank 3 on the deck pounder. Rank plate, uncanny, cutlass and deck pounder. There we go. So that's something I do have. So 5 expulsum for one of those is a fair amount here. Just doing leveling quests for Rap and BFA can give you like 20k to a jump start on a new server. That's a good amount, certainly. Large improvement, looking forward to it. Yes, and Zandroid, it's really nice. I'm really looking forward to more people getting hold of it, certainly. Compressed header, customized columns. I know it's very nice. Being able to just adjust the size of these is a massive improvement, just to be able to make this a little bit bigger. We can even take this whole crafting queue and move that more to the right and give ourselves more real estate on this side, or we can move that over to the left and have more real estate on the crafting queue. So that's also really nice. Let's just move that over to the middle somewhat. There we go. Just change the channel to the beta on the client. Hopefully it will be available soon. Hopefully, if you've got TSM Premium, you'll be first on the list, certainly. Alright, so let's have a look. We need to make one of these. I have enough materials for that. So, or do I have enough materials for that? Let me just move out of the way, and oh, I need to be near an anvil. I always forget that. Let's head on over. Let's go around this way. Then we can open up our blacksmithing. Then we can make one. There we go. I didn't get a notification about the anvil. That would have been useful to have that there, like we do with the other one. Certainly somewhere where it's visible. Right, let's carry on here. Right, let's go and have a look and post this lot on. Now, do I have this on my list? Let's run a post scan and see. And yes, we do have one on already, so I'll post that on at 8,000 gold. It cost me 1,100 gold to actually make, so hopefully we can get a sale of that. Is the colour profile based? Do you mean in terms of like changing different colour schemes? I don't know actually, Darkwing. Let's try it out. So Gumdrops showed me the other day that they've now changed it so that when you change the appearance, it should, yeah, just change it at the same time. And the contrast is so much nicer now. They were really bright before. They're a lot more sort of toned down, different colour. That one's still a bit bright, that one. Stormwind's quite bright as well. Jade Forest is also quite bright. But Dalaran's looking a nice colour, certainly that. And Swamper's Sorrow is quite like that one. So that one's green. If we were to then change profiles, let's just try a different profile. I imagine it's going to stay the same. I wouldn't expect it to be different. So we're on El Morte. If we go to Earthen, yeah, I don't see any change there. And so if we then go to change character, let's go have a look and go over to this one. Let's go over to Nadamas. It'd be nice to have like a an Orgrimmar theme for this one. That's from the wolves, is it? Okay. So let's go into Nadamas and just open up TSM. That was interesting. And TSM is the same one. It's still green. So yes, it's not per profile, the colour scheme. That would be interesting though. Right, so daily cooldowns. Oh, we're missing some herbs for this now. So we need to go and do some shopping here. So let's go buy some BFA herbs. It's the first time I've had to do it for the moment. What's the prices of my herbs? They're all quite reasonable actually. 670, 890 is the highest there compared to everything here. So I'm going to start with the 22. I'm going to buy those out. I'd like to buy ideally 100 of each. So that's 22 plus 80, no, 78. There we go. We'll buy those as well. Let me UTX. Oh, let me out. There we go. Let me out. Thank you very much for the follow. Hope you're doing well. And let's go through. A few people saying it would be handy to have a different colour TSM per realm as well. That could be very interesting. Realm and profile. Maybe too much to have it per account as well, but it's an interesting one, certainly. So let's go through here and we'll take another 100 of those. Siren's Pollen, we'll buy those. Star Moss, I don't have a restock for these. I could do a restock operation that would allow me to just buy 100 each of these. But this is fine for the moment. I only have to do this every now and again. And only when the prices are favourable. So this seems fine at the moment, so we'll carry on with these, and the Riverbud we'll take as well. So once we've got 100 each of these, and the Winter's Kiss as well. Oh, the Winter's Kiss is quite expensive. Looking at that, 14 gold 74. That will take my average up higher, but that is taken into account as part of my calculation. They're double at the moment. Does anyone actually have any on them at the moment? Looking at that, I don't see. I'm obviously on the I'm on the Horde side, so I can't borrow it from anyone else. Kalehoff, thank you very much using your Prime. What Pikachu? I love the big Pikachu. That's fantastic. Thank you very much for your support. for 10 months. That's amazing. Thank you for using your Prime. Very much appreciated. I have a whole load of emotes for you. And good evening, Krozak, as well to you. So I'm going to buy these anyway. This will change my average quite a bit. So I'll take 100 of these at this price, just to spread out my average a little bit there. And we'll buy that. That was something interesting. I don't know if you noticed that. If you change this so that it's an invalid amount, the border will go red. And that's the same if you start putting something in your operations. So if we go to, say, one of our operations here, like an auctioning operation and posting, if I start typing in something incorrect here, you see the border here is now red. So TSM is telling me that this is an invalid operation. It's not going to change it, and only when I take the things out and it doesn't have anything around it, then I know then that is going to be a nice solid amount that is going to work as an operation. So that's really, really nice quality of life change. Pay me in sticks. Lindrowski, good evening to you. Hope you're doing well. So this is using basically the average buy price of all of those herbs as my min price for my anchorweed. So if I now go to my anchorweed based on the herbs, actually I'll need to pick them up first. Let's go there, pick up our purchases. Well, I might as well pick up our expires as well whilst we're here. We've made 4,700 gold this week on this character. I sold a monolite fish finder for 3,000 gold, so that's a good chunk of the gold there. Then some anchorweed here and here, and then the rest is basically vendor sales. So still reasonable. Let's actually just pick those up. No, that was the wrong one. I need here, and we'll pick up our sales. Right, we'll post all this lot on. Let's move out the way a little bit. So I'll go to my auctioning, run a post scan, post my vendor sale items on. Now this is another interesting bug. I haven't all of these are saying distilled water is below vendor sell price, but it isn't actually that's a false error at the moment, so I need to report that one and fix that one out. Can't help but pick up my gold whenever it gets to my mouth. I know it's very tempting to hold it on. I hold it on for the week, so it's it takes a little bit of dedication, certainly. To your son's first birthday. Oh, Krozak, that's fantastic. Thank you so much for your support, and happy birthday to your son. A first birthday at that as well. That's amazing. I hope you're having a wonderful time with your son, or he's probably asleep if it's late at night for you. Is it because many of them are sold in batches of 10 on the vendor, perhaps? That's not a bad shout, Tobias. It could be something like that, and maybe not necessarily accurately calculated. But it was working before the alpha, so I suspect it's just like a miscalculation on this point. So with those posted on, let me just check my auctions here. We've done. Did we open everything up? We did. Did I buy the Winter's Kiss? Looks like I might not have bought the Winter's Kiss. Kinder's Bite, Riverbud, Sea Stalk. So if I just look at my alchemy here, I might be missing the Winter's Kiss. Yes, I am. So I've got 100 each of all the other ones. I must have misbought or forgotten to buy the Winter's Kiss. So let's go browse. Let's search for the herbs. Winter's Kiss is here at 14 gold. So we'll buy 100. Oh yes, I don't think I actually bought them. There we go. Prepare buy commodity. There we go. And then we'll pick those up. And then we can do our daily cooldown and open the bags up, and then we'll be back here. That's good. And then we can use this one. We'll run a post scan, and then we'll get that lot on. Checking the form is a nice improvement. Yes, definitely can be summer, definitely. Anchorweed, maximum amount already posted. That's interesting. How many have I got? I've got 5 on the auction house, so let's just check my posting operation on that. That looks like it might have fallen over in the process. So operations, auctioning operations, Sell, transmute, anchor weed, posting. Yeah, the post cap here is 50. That should really be 200 or something high. You can go up to as high as 50,000 now if you want to. So the range can be incredibly high. Vendor sell, let me just check that. That's post cap is 5. I want that to be 200 as well. And so some of these do need a little bit of fixing at the moment. So let's go through there, run a post scan on those. At least get those higher. Post all of that, including the anchor weed. 48 gold is quite expensive. My minimum price is 29 gold, which is based off of my calculation of the average prices, taking into account that I'll probably make 10 in any anchor weed, so that should be fine. We're still okay on that front. We probably just need to check our auction house for the next one. Hillian, good evening to you. Hope you're doing well. Let me just check my auctions. They're all on, so we'll check our vendor, sell our junk, and then we will go and buy the groups we need, which we obviously got everything we need for this point, so that's fine. So we can jump off of this character, and then we'll just check our minor characters for the moment. Good evening, Lizelle. Hope you're doing well. Feng Shu I'll leave at the moment because Feng Shu's in the middle of doing his artifact quest. We're level 100 now, but I'll jump onto Bridget, who's just doing a mass sell of everything collected thus far in the leveling range. So we'll check in on this character. Now I've got Katie's stamp whistle, so I can use that mailbox from wherever I am, which is really handy. Do I use average buy a lot? I've been using DB Market, but might switch to average buy for me when doing such things as milling. Might get you a closer result. I tend to use average buy for a lot of my material prices. I have it as my default material cost in my settings. So if we go here under my crafting, my default material cost. Now because this is 4.10, we also have smart average buy and average buy as two different variables. It used to be part of the settings in accounting, smart average buy here. But that's no longer the case in 4.10. It's now an actual source itself that's individual to average buy. So I'm using the first between either smart average buy or average buy at this point, and I have that as my default material cost method as well as everything else, and it uses the smaller of all of those. Right, let's just pop out here and we'll check our mail. So I'll check my mail. We have a load of expires. We got 868 gold though, so that's pretty nice. What's that for? Average buy, item number, link the herb that's always the cheapest for you. Oh, right, is that for your for milling? Yeah, if you always have use one that's particularly cheap, then definitely. Avenge, Emmy, the Blue Dragon Bite. Okay, I'll delete that. Don't need that. So what have we got here? Mage Royal, more Mage Royal, Wool Cloth, Frostweave Cloth, Briarthorn. So this is basically from my herbalism and mining as I go through. So we'll take those, 868 gold. Takes me to 4,000 gold on this character. We'll go through and we'll post everything on anyway. This is my mass sell auctioning operation for this profile. This is the same as Feng Shu as well, so it's basically just literally throwing everything on the auction house. I'm not too concerned about the prices. I'm not even too concerned whether I could pass this on to other characters at this stage. I'm literally just throwing it all on and seeing if I can get some sales. Welcome back, Silent Mouse. Hope you're doing well. Hope the lawn is looking fantastic. Just going through and posting everything on my minor characters at the moment. So those will hopefully generate me some sales, and then I can always come back and do a little bit of leveling on this character later. But at least we've got our auctions on, which is the main thing. This is kind of like my regular routine when it comes to most characters. Now I don't think I have anything significant on these two characters. Paladin obviously is too new at this stage, doesn't have a lot going on, and Hellfire I haven't touched in a long while. Probably move that character down to another bottom level character, and this character I need to do another list of things on. I could possibly do that from where I am. Let's go have a look, because I believe I'm at a in-rested area. So this would be basically just going through, doing the same thing, leveling up and mass doing everything at the same time. Now I'm in the middle of a quest here at the moment, but I did park myself in an inn for the moment. Lawn and order. Fantastic, Jack. Okay, so there's probably a mailbox outside here, I imagine. There is. I haven't picked up a flight point here either, but let's take this and we'll take our expires. We don't have any sales here, so we'll just post this all on. Some of this is stuff that I don't think is going to sell, like Mushan ribs, but we do have some motes of harmony here and things like that. Have I seen the crafting changes for Shallowlands? Any thoughts? I'm really looking forward to it, Reclaw. I really like all the optional reagents and how they work well together. I'm definitely looking forward to it. I've got a feeling that professions are going to work really well with each other, so it's going to be very nice to see how that actually relates to real life gold making, certainly. 6 kinds of ores, certainly, yeah. There's a couple of things I'm slightly less happy about. Things like alchemy, having to do the equivalent of milling. You have to do, I can't remember the word they use for it, but you have to do the equivalent of milling in alchemy as well as milling in inscription as well. So that's a bit of a step backwards in my eyes. And the flasks are all homogenized into just a power flask at the moment, so there's only one type of flask, but there's so much other things in alchemy now, they've broadened it in different ways. Unknown date with more information. Yes, I heard that, Metcat. I was going to mention it in this week's Wowhead, but they had already changed it. Yeah, I don't see why anyone sees milling and think that's a fun thing to add. The only thing I can think of really is it does add a extra level of another barrier to entry, which is not a bad thing for some things, although having tedious things is slightly less appealing than things that might be more complicated, or a quest line or something like that. Definitely. Right one too. How are you? Thanks for stopping by. Always a pleasure to stop by and say hi. Long time, and thank you for the shuffle again. Made millions on one server with only 2 tunes. Oh, fantastic, Quisilla. That's lovely to hear, and lovely to have you here. Right, I might just park myself in this rest area now that I posted everything on. So that is pretty much my routine for most of my characters. We'll go back to Samadan and do the restock on him, because we haven't done that yet. You mill thousands of herbs and just go AFK. I think that's a pretty good idea, Edwards. A lot of people maybe do that at the end of the evening, or when they're on a lunch break or a coffee break. They'll literally just log on and just leave the character milling away in the background. And you can get quite a lot milled that way, certainly. Right, in terms of Samadan, we have 1 sale of biltong at the moment, which we'll keep for the moment. We'll save that for next week. We'll just go check our auctions and then see what we need to restock on all of these. So go to my auctions. We do have some other sales here coming through. So netherweave bags, we sold some of those, and some more of the biltong came through as well. So that's going to be interesting. I need to look at my cooking, actually. There's a lot I need to do in terms of like the operations, and also the 8.3 food. I haven't looked into that. So maybe we can have a look at that afterwards. But first and foremost, let's just do a restock as it is. I'm still on this colour scheme. Let's just change that back to the standard one. So let's go to appearance. Let's go to standard, so you can see the nice grey. If I have ethereal shard on you, please post on the auction house check price. Oh really? Is ethereal shards really expensive at the moment? Let's go have a look. Let's browse, search, ethereal. Oops, no, that's the wrong bit there. Ethereal shard. Ethereal shard at 493,000. That's quite expensive. I don't think I'll be buying any at that price. How's the small ethereal shards looking at? Oh, they're expensive as well, 493,000. We could combine 3 small ones into one big one and do a sale on those, but I don't think we'll be seeing any prices of that at this anytime soon. Home Cobra, good evening to you. Hope you're doing well. I'm new to gold farming and play on a high-pop server, but the great majority of the players are Horde, including yourself. You're farming all the raids from MOP to WOD in all difficulties, including LFR, with 3 characters, making around 150,000 gold in 3 days. Very nice. Buy the 5 to 6 WoW tokens for Shadowlands and your game time. Any tips, advice? Well, it sounds like you're onto a great strategy so far. Make sure that whatever you do, make sure it's fun first and foremost. That's my main bit of advice. If you enjoy what you're doing, then carry on doing it. Diversify, do other things that are variations on what you enjoy, and expand from there. Would be my main advice. Really, get a second account for the next shuffle in Shadowlands. Also, for milling, auction house sniper. Any thoughts? Maybe going to get a second account. That's not a bad idea. Obviously, me and my wife have got the whole recruiter friend thing going on our accounts there. I could do a second account. I'd have to make sure that I'm earning enough gold to justify funding that other character. Shadowlands could be a good point to do that. I'm slightly reluctant in terms of dividing my characters across 2 different accounts and having even more professions to deal with and sort out. It's something that I would add to my list once I've gotten myself fleshed out on one account first, certainly. Thanks a lot for the advice. Well, that's no problem, Home Cobra. Use your professions. If you are more of a raw gold farmer, Comlet and Kraken Latte have some really nice videos on it. Yes, the Kraken Latte ones are really good in terms of going through different things for raw gold farming. A lot of mats on Shadow Song like that. You always look at it and snort. I know it's very odd, isn't it? They're very, very highly priced ones. Yeah, you only need 2 or 3 people to fall for it, and it happens. Yeah, definitely. Find ways to mill make the inks at the time when you're not playing, like leaving it on whilst you're at work. Exactly. There's always different ways, certainly. Whilst I'm here, so we've got everything there. Let me just... that's interesting. My font and whatever I typed in there is still there. Let's just clear that and come back. Okay, so let's look. Auctioning, we've got my auctions on, we've got some sales coming through. We need to restock, so let's go have a look in terms of crafting groups, restock on everything. So we've got Tome Evolutions, Cataclysms, some Biltong, Mekdal's Big Mech, some Uncanny Gear, a Sea Breeze, Saddle Blanket, and a Hexweave Bag. So in terms of this, we probably need to deal with tailoring. This is quite nice, actually, being able to select all on those. That's quite handy. So Volatile Earth, last time I saw it was quite expensive. 25 gold should be okay though. Spare parts we need to pick up at Mechagon. Samadan has a fair amount of them, but they're bind on pickup, so I'll have to go to Mechagon myself and pick those up. Let's open up the task list. The task list hasn't been looked at yet in terms of 4.10 updates, but we will use our daily cooldowns for these, and we'll do the same for... There we go. We have to do this one manually, I think. I'll have to do that one as well. It's another note. There we go. Any advice strategies for a low pop alliance realm to make gold? Not many raiders on the servers, and transmogs don't sell through very well. So have a look at professions would be my next thought, Wayman Live. Have a look and see what kind of professions people are interested in, whether it's things like enchants or utility things like bags within tailoring. And check the Undermine journal and see what kind of niches you could possibly carve out for yourself. You should be able to control prices quite well on a low pop server. So look for things that might be in high demand for your server and go from there. Running into trouble with TSM. when running a shopping search, you try buy. When trying to buy, you get an internal auction error and need to rescan. Any ideas how to fix it? Have you checked in your system settings? I don't know if this is a known bug or not. I believe it might be not on system settings, on interface, on auto loop. Have you got auto loop ticked? Because I think there's a problem if you don't have it ticked. That might be something in terms of internal auction error. If not that, try doing. Try posting in the WoW Economy Discord. On the other thing Metcat said is just wait a few seconds. I've not had it myself when buying things, but then my server's a bit different, obviously. So I need to buy a few things. Let's get this from the auction house. Let's go have a look here. See what we can get here. And go onto my browse. So what's nice on this is if I go scan all and I look at volatile earth here, I will select this and I'll click buy out. I'll automatically or pre-fill it with the 5 that I need, which is really nice. So I'll literally just buy those. That's easy enough to do. Then I'll head on over here and then I'll open up my mail. All bought. Then I'll head over to the guild bank right at the back here. Lower pop servers usually have higher value but less sell rate, but transmog usually sells if your items are good enough. Yeah, it all depends on your server and what you're trying to sell, certainly. Right, let's move those, and then we need to buy the Fusaka from the vendor. Inscription trinkets in that account, trust me, you made millions. First 2 weeks of BFA and flipping BOEs too. Yeah, inscription is always did seem to be very good in BFA, certainly. I'd like to see if I can capitalise on that this time around, because I didn't have an inscription character with BFA. So let's just take these and then buy those, so we can at least make up the things we want to make, bar a few things I'm missing. Hexweave cloth, we still need another 12. And spare parts, we need another 21. So let's do this in order. Let's go over and to our garrison, and we'll pick up our spare hexweave, and then we'll go over to Mechagon and see if we can pick up some spare parts. The floating potato chip, that is my healing pancake wave. It's one of my essences that basically whenever I overheal, the pancake fills up into a sphere, and then it will, let me just check I've got any rush work orders. Not proving grounds. This one. Let's collect the completed ones. Resources, more resources, more resources, and an enchanter's study. Okay, we've got 2 of these. I want tailoring emporium first, and then I'll go for that one next. After that, then after that I'll grab some EXP and resources, and then the rest of those I'll leave. Okay. You need to invest money to get the sales. So you can't make millions with no money. Yeah, you do need money, certainly. I'll take those. How are we doing for garrison resources? At the moment, 6,500. Okay, so far. Let's head on down here, and we'll pick up our lovely hexweave cloth that we need. Let's collect all of that, and then let's start another work order going. Yep, I'll take all of those, please. And then we'll come over this side. We'll do our fractured temporal crystals. You have ugly inscriptions, low pop realm, and sometimes sell better than others. Started using TSM based on my YouTube videos, and has helped shine some light on trends on your server. Oh, fantastic! I'm glad you found them useful. Right, where are you for restocking? You've wandered off. Where have you wandered off to? Oh, you're down here. Let's do all of those Drainic dusts, and then we'll do... Where's our rush work order? Here it is. 2, 3. And then we'll pick those up. A few extra. And then we'll go and redo our thing there. that's fine. So we've got our hex weave cloth we need. Then we're going to jump over. Rip garrison resources. I love that Molotov. Right, let's head on over to... now I'm thinking, yes, we'll do it this way. I'll do it this way, and then we'll go over to Mechagon, see if we can get ourselves some spare parts easily. I wonder what the easiest easiest way to get spare parts is. We could probably go around and look for the treasure chests. That would be my first thought. Maybe there's something else we can do in terms of spare parts. I don't think I've got any crates at this stage. Let's head on over. It costs 5 gold to go over there. That's a fair amount. Tortolan Seekers is on. That gives me a 445 item. That's interesting. If you do the daily, you get 500. Okay. Do the daily every day. It's the most parts for least work. Okay. Thank you, Fierceboy and Drizzling Rose. Isn't a 2x4 spare part farmer thing? I have no idea actually. So depending on the daily, obviously, when we get over to Mechagon, let's go have a look. What have we got at the moment in terms of factory refurbished? And then does the pet battle give us anything in terms of? No, that's a Fell Touch training stone. That's not going to give me anything at the moment. We'll have a look what the daily is once I get there. Not the easiest, but many people farm it. 2 groups of 4 people in LFG. It's most efficient. Farm Junkwat Depot is usually a group in LFG. Right, okay, thank you, Sugar Pixie. You've done it every day since November. That's dedication, Drizzling Rose. Very dedicated. There's spare parts from a fish. Oh, interesting. Okay. Quests have a random reward. Some of them gives 40 parts, but you can see a reward when you talk to the quest giver. We can have a look at those as well. We're on our way over there at the moment, so we'll have a look and see what is coming for this. I don't think I've really spent a lot of time over in Mechagon. It didn't really. The 8.3 zones were nice, but they didn't capture my imagination as much as I thought they might. Glad you still have 40 spare crates. That's a decent amount. I don't know if I've got any actual spare crates on me. Would they actually be typable at this point, or is it S? If we search for crate, probably see it there. No, I don't have anything here at the moment. Vacuum menus while you open cards of owner to make a few thousand Big Mac for a week. Well, that's fair enough. Right, okay, so what do we need to do? Complete activities on Mechagon will give me a galvanic oscillator for the Rust Bolt Rebellion. Will that also give me spare parts as well, I wonder? What else have we got here? That's Deep Sea. What's the reward on that for Deep Sea Satin? Rust Bolt Provision. Let's have a look. Hold on. Doesn't tell us what the resulting thing will be there on that one. I could give you Deep Sea Satin to see what happens. You'll receive 132 gold. Okay, we'll leave that one then. Okay, let's go over. Missed a bit for this today, apologies, but if you need any professional skilled Darkmoon Pharaohs, oh, that's a good point, Goblin. Make the transporter to Mechano. Yes, I haven't got that yet. That's one thing I haven't picked up. It would be definitely more useful. Is it a multiple use thing? Let me have a look. Let's go to the standard one. Which is it called? The gadgets Mechano treats, not that. Gramophone, 100 fathom lure. Looks like I might not have it. Personal time displacer we've got. Anti-gravity pack we've got. For transportation, it'll be under here, won't it? Under junkyard tailoring. We don't have an unlearn tab, unfortunately. Yeah, I would have thought it would be under transportation. So I'd have to look and see if I can pick that one up. Thomas, good evening to you. Am I still working from home? I am indeed, and I'm enjoying every minute of it. So we don't have it at the moment, so let's go have a look and see what we do have in terms of quests and things like that. So that will give me 20 spare parts, toys for destruction, build the perfect weapon. I'm thinking of, I guess I could do all these, and this will help with my Rust Bolt Rebellion. Completing this world quest will reward you with the oscillator, or maybe give me some extra spare parts as well. So let's have a look at that. What do we need to do? Okay, so we need to click on this, and then I'm ready to begin. Right, what have we got? What have we got? Liquid, batteries. Okay. I need batteries. Right, we're here on those. Do those. Explosives and cogs and springs. Give me more brain power. What's the brain power? I can't see one here for brain power. Cogs and springs, I guess, maybe. Explosives. Oh, it exploded. We'll have to start that again. I must have missed one though. I have to read the test. Read the quest again. Let's have a look. Okay. Let's try again. Smart people here, a lot of opinions. And then, so what are we putting in this thing? Cogs and springs. Right, that's that one. Good start. Give me more brain power. So what am I missing there? Volatile liquid. Explosives as much as you can get it. Alright, okay. There we go. I missed the things. It needs volatile liquid. Okay, let's go there. It's leaking all over. Just got to look out for the keywords on this, and then it'll be easier. And needs more volatile liquid. The round thingy, that's not me because that's batteries. Cogs and springs, just follow this one. Then we can mechanise it. I can see the chat going off. I just can keep my eye on this text at the moment, and then I'll come through and catch up on what I've missed. More cogs and springs, we'll get those. And volatile liquid is that one. And there we go. We created the perfect weapon. Fantastic. What did I miss? It's just the ones that talk. You click on. Oh, speech bubbles. I see. I don't tend to like speech bubbles. So I tend to just keep that as it is. Definitely. What else have we got? How do you change TSM settings so it doesn't ask me to use Sanguicell for Expulsum? I have set my Sanguicell price to be like 20 million gold, so it's not cost effective for TSM to take account of it. Zimpao, good afternoon to you. 4 out of 5 hoodies on the rack, going for 5 of 5 very soon. On a side note, your guild mates have used your longboy more than me in the past few days, which I think is a good rate to charge them. Got to make gold one way or another. I think ask for kind donations, and I think that would be a good start, certainly. Right, so that got me 20% of the way through this. We could probably do this a little bit more efficiently, I imagine. Let's have a look at the other ones. Who else have we got here? Quest-wise, recycler, factory refurbished. That gives me gold. And then there was another one around here somewhere I saw. Oh, there it is. Engineering trainer, energy cells for everyone is gold, and redistribution of power is the energy cell. Okay, So we'll leave that one for the moment. It still asks you if you select craft unprofitable, do I not use those for sanguine cell? So yes, I don't use craft unprofitable, I don't think, in my my list of things. I believe I've got it set up like that. Bugs, a lot of them, and do not drink. Let's go have a look at those. There's not very many quests that are giving me spare parts. I have to look out for, what have we got here? There's another one down here. What's this one over here?
I acknowledge you.
That will give me gold. Okay, there's a treasure chest here. Let's do some treasure chests whilst we're here. That might give me something more useful. So we'll get energy cell and a mini pack, which inside of which gives me a mini blastertron. Okay, which I think I've already got. I've already collected that one. I'll get rid of that one. Don't need that one. What parts do I need? I need spare parts is what I need for this. Mythias, good evening to you. Don't delete cell. I end up just deleting them. They're it was 100 gold. Was it really? I never really paid much attention to it. Was it a vendor sell item? Oh dear. Epic gold making fail. Okay, well that was a costly mistake. Thank you, everyone. I'll remember it in the next time. I just look at those and I think, oh, I've already got that, and I didn't even pay any attention to it. So that was my own fault for not paying attention. Let's just go around this way, see if we can find ourselves some treasure chests. I'll follow the icons, see if we can do it from here. Nothing there. There's a quest here. What's this one for? For the fishing trainer. Gold for 8 the Rolly. Oh, we've got 40 spare parts for this one. I'll take this one. Rolly Gulper slain. Okay, so what do we need to do here? Large water elementals have been swallowing the fish. They are still alive, just swimming around inside the elemental now. Kill that elemental to catch the bubbly Rolly. Okay, so that's not... this is the 100 fathom lure, that one. So that's not the one we want. Where's the elemental itself? Battle tested a golfer. Oh, it's over here in the thing up at the top. There we go. Open LFR, search parts. Okay, this is one I want. Rolly Gulper. So whilst doing a LFR farm would be useful here, I only want a few parts for the moment. So I'm literally just going for just a few things at this point. I know a farm would probably be a lot easier on this front, but I'm just going to literally see if I can get myself this. Right, so I'll do a lightning zap whilst I'm here. There we go. Even the 5-mans are good. Okay, well thank you for the advice, certainly. Sorry if I'm not taking it just at this stage. It's literally what was that one? I forgot that was the Hollywood Serenity. That was the wrong one. There we go, we're nearly done with this one. I just want a few parts to make my food at this stage. But what I'll do is probably off stream have a look and see what I can do. It said it was slain, it went back over there. And then what did it drop? That's interesting. Bowl-eyed Rolly's school, so we then have to go and fish for them, it would look like. Okay, that's interesting mechanic. There's one there. Let's go grab that. There we go. Just got to focus on my fishing for one moment. That was ionized minnow. Okay, that's a applied Rolly school. Let's check that for one moment. I need my underlight angler to be able to stand on the water for this. There was also ionized minnow. Okay, this is interesting. Surely I need those. It says here, bubble-eyed rolly school. So I'm thinking I should fish for those. It should drop from the fish schools, yeah. So I'm fishing in those, but it doesn't seem to have given me anything. Just ionized minnow. Maybe I have to fish more frequently to get enough of them. Let's keep fishing for the moment. Fishing's good. I'm not quite in the pool here at the moment though. So let's just position ourselves properly. There we go. It's not 100% drops. Yeah, it does look like that, yes. There we go, century fish. At least we can do a little bit of fishing in our farm. 2-3 hours, you have enough parts for 2 weeks. Oh right, okay. So it's definitely something worth preparing for and sorting out. I don't think I'm particularly prepared for it tonight, certainly. But it's good to know in the future. Get a spare parts group. Maybe that's something we can do on stream. Oh, there we go. 1 bubble-eyed rolly. 1 of 3. Wow, okay. This might take us a little while. Or not. There we go. There's 1 school done. That's another school over here. So let's go over this way. Let's just move it back a little bit. There we go. Smack bang in the center. Smells fishy here. Does the Minnovac work on these schools? Can you borrow the Minnovac and use these? I hadn't thought of using that one. I mean, we're doing a little bit of fishing here at the moment, but yeah, that would be useful if we did that at the same time. Took you 42 casts to get only on the ionized minnow. Okay, it is the ionized minnow. There we go, we got 3. That was lucky enough. Okay, so we can head back and hand that quest in, get ourselves 40 spare parts that way. Let's just move this back out. There's a chest over there as well. See if there's anything in the chest as we go. Gulper ate the rolly. 40 spare parts. Takes us to 50%. And then we'll go find that spare crate. Which, if it's not in here, will be in the cave underneath. It's sometimes a rare in here. Where is this? Where is the chest? Don't see the chest. Okay, so it's not in the cave. Let's go have another look. Looks like it might have despawned on me on that one. Okay, we'll leave that one for the moment. Let's just go for a little search around, see if we can find that. Yeah, just as I went in, that was really unfortunate. Let's go have a quick look. We'll do around, have a check on rust feather as we go. Just in case, you never know. Looks like no one's really hanging around here at the moment, so either rust feather's just gone. We're at 50%. I'm not sure whether I'll bother with the whole 100% on this daily. Would be nice to do it though, thinking of it. There's a synchronous thread over there. Let's go and do that whilst we're here. Haven't done one of these in a while. Kind of going slightly off piste here. Synchronous thread, this one. I need to make sure I haven't bought all the recipes when the trader arrives. Still need to do that. There we go. There's the trader. Let me browse your goods. What can we buy? Deep sea satin. How much do I have? I've got 495, so I can buy these. I kind of like the idea of making these, so let's try a few of these. The more expensive ones, perhaps. Belt of the Archmage. Robe of Winter Night. That could be nice. And mooncloth gloves would be good as well. And then what else have we got? Cindercloth vest and gloves. Those would also be nice. Those can be quite good sellers. Don't have quite enough for that. There we go. You've only heard of this vendor. Oh really? I can't. It's a complete fluke. I happened to mention it, but I don't have quite enough deep sea satin on me at the moment to buy all of them. Tempting as it is, it's quite expensive for my server. This isn't gold effective. This is just basically me trying to collect up recipes more than anything else. So let me just have a quick look here whilst we're here. Deep sea satin. So currently deep sea satin is at 12 gold. That's not too bad for my server actually. So I'm going to buy myself 1,000 of this, just to. That should probably be enough. This is very much a completing collection more than anything else. So let's just bring up my mailbox. I'd like to check my mail. Let's go my purchases. Right, so what have we got? Let's remember that. Let's have a look at this. Let's browse your goods. So a silk cloak, we'll take that. Icy cloak. Did I get the? You bought the deep sea satin, so why have I not got it on me? Let's go just check that. Oh, you're disappearing. Oh, that's a shame. we lost them. Well, we got some of them at least. I'll have to make sure I'm prepared next time. There we go. What's that? 40 gold on your server. That's 7 gold on yours. 1.4 gold for you. Deep sea satin varies an awful lot, certainly. So I did have enough on me to buy more of those, but unfortunately I think they just despawned at the end with a synchronous thread. So we did at least collect up some of those. I'm going to have to remember which ones I've got now to learn those. Where are the actual recipes? Here they are. So Belt of the Archmage. We can make these and try to sell them. Mooncloth gloves is always handy to go with the mooncloth robes. Azure silk cloak, cindercloth vest, that can be quite good. And then we've got the robe of winter night. So now one thing we can do here is whilst we're here, we'll use TSM 4.10. So what we're going to do is make a new group. So we'll use TSM here. We're going to make a group. We're going to pop this in tailoring. This is a stuff for me to make in the future group. So I've got one here. We've got bags. We've got BFA tailoring, mounts, pretty clothes. It's probably going to be in pretty clothes more than anything else, I imagine. So under pretty clothes, I have a group called, I think I've got just like Miss Outfits. I should have one called Specials or something like that. No. Okay, let's make up a new group in tailoring. A new group, I'm going to call this Synchronous Thread. I think that's how you spell it. Now, in order to add these into this group, what we're going to do is use the new Browse the Base Group option. So we're going to search here, and we're going to search for Belt of the Archmage. Belt of the Archmage. Okay, so we've got 2 of them here. That's pattern Belt of the Archmage. I actually want to do the Belt of the Archmage itself. That's interesting. So I can't collect that one up itself. Neither of those will work for me. Repent777, thank you for the follow. Maybe it hasn't come through the TSM database yet. Let's try a different one. Let's try mooncloth gloves. Mooncloth gloves. Again, that's pattern mooncloth gloves. I don't want the pattern. I want the actual mooncloth gloves itself. Estimat, good evening to you. Off to play well on the other half. Have a great finish the stream. Okay, it was lovely to have you here. I hope to see you again soon. Okay, so this one doesn't fit either. Okay, let's try Azure silk. Okay, so here we've got Azure silk cloak. This is one of the things I wanted. So we've got the pattern here, but we haven't got the other one. So Azure silk cloak, we want to add to our groups. We can actually search this group for synchronous thread, and we'll add it into that group. There we go. Is TSM that valuable? It's very, very useful, definitely. So let's have a look at Cindercloth. And we want to look at Cindercloth vest. And we want to move that to that one. And then we want to look for Winter Night. Again, we've got the pattern, but not the actual robe of Winter Night itself. Let's try a robe of Winter. Yeah, that just gives me the pattern as well. So it's not fully complete, the database of items yet. So there's a few of those that we are missing. But in other cases, I would have to basically queue up each of those, make those and add them to my group. But at least I've got Cindercloth vest in there. I didn't add in the Azure one. Let me just go and do that one now whilst I'm here. Azure silk cloak. Let's move that item in there. So now we've got those both in the Cindercloth head. Unless, let me think, there wasn't a situation where I had them in my bags anyway, in my groups anyway. I would doubt that. I doubt that because I wouldn't have learnt them myself. Let's just have a quick look. Let's follow this thread as we've just learnt it. Let's go to TSM and go to crafting, and then we're going to search our patterns. So we still need to make all our bits and pieces. We're in the middle of doing this. Okay, I've gone off a complete tangent here. I've still got things I need to make. So Mekdal's Big Mech. We've got the spare parts we needed for that. So let's just make the things we needed to make first. Let's clear this queue off. Let's get rid of destroying at the moment. Make our hex weave bag. The biltong we need to swap over to cooking. Get ourselves a Pierre. Make our biltong. Make our Mekdal's Big Mech. And then make ourselves a enchanting Tome of Illusions Cataclysm. Not a huge amount of profit on those. Oh, we have the time rift back again. I wonder if we can actually get ourselves a another trader whilst we're here. That would be very lucky if we did. I'm not expecting it. And what did we get? We got a buff. Temporal recall. Taking lethal damage, it rewinds you to resurrect time. Okay, so that's fair enough. Whilst I'm here, and I've spotted them, before I post everything on, I'm going to pick up these two treasure chests that we have here. There should be one around the corner, and just in case I get anything. Emptied energy cell on that one. You never know, I might get something handy. And that one looked like it's just despawned on me, so I missed that one. Let's just head over this way, see if we can get anything else. And then we'll head into the middle. No, we don't have anything there either. We could do quests. We had to look at those already, so we'll leave those at the moment. Okay. There we go. What did I miss? Need to master that kind of thing. So a month ago, oh yeah, we do have a list for you, Repent. If you go learn, there is a YouTube series all about TSM 4 and how to get started with it. There will soon be more videos on TSM 4.10 once that comes out, because it's kind of like completely different at the moment. But that will at least get you started nonetheless. So let's go ahead and post on the things that we've just made, because that was quite the diversion doing all of those things. Still lots of things we can do on this character. We've got cooking we need to look at. That's another thing that will get us better. We've got our groups we need to fix here. They're still using the old different craft values for each of those. So I'm going to probably just go through and change those. The auctioning, cooking 10s, 20s and 1s, I don't need to do in different stack sizes now. So if we go back, we can fix those up first and foremost. So I'll go to my groups, go to cooking, And my operations, let's have a look. So my base operations are fine. Let's check light meals, desserts, large meals, cooking 20s, 55 of each, 8.2 meals. Now we have multiple ones here. We don't need all of these. You can now, with TSM 4.10, change the order of these and use different ones. But as we're not doing different stack sizes anymore, we're just using these as commodities. I'm going to get rid of them and just use cooking 20s. And the same with this one. I'm going to move, cooking 20s up to the top and get rid of the other ones. Just go through these individually. Just make sure they're all saying cooking 20s. And then children's wheat cake as its own. And then these are the cooking mats shopping operations. And then my operation cooking 20s, if we actually look at that in itself. Crafting operations, no, it's in auctioning operations, cooking 20s. We probably don't need each of these individual ones now. So I'll probably just delete those. Cooking 5s, I'll delete. Clean up my groups. You can always see under group management it's not actually applied to any groups down here at the bottom, whereas if I look at cooking 20s you can see it's applied to all of these groups down here. There we go, we just sold some Mechdow's Big Mech already, so that was a good start. I do need to probably do one of those spare part farms in that case. So not cooking 20s anymore. Let's look at the posting operation for here. We want to change our post cap to, I guess 200 would be a good one for that. And we're going to rename this cooking as just like one big post on that one. The same with Bountiful Feast, 5.10s and 20s. We don't need each of those. It's not actually assigned to any groups at the moment anyway, so we can safely get rid of those. That one I want to delete. These are, yes. Ooh, that's got a bit of a glitch on it, I think. Let's try that again. Yeah, that seems to be just jumping down. Okay, let's try that one last time. No, okay, we'll have to do that another time. In terms of what else we've got, let's have a look at our groups. Cooking. So Captain's Feast, Bountiful Captain's Feast, Operations, Cooking, and 25 of each. Galley Banquet. So we need to look at the 8.3 cooking, which we haven't got here yet. So let's go have a look here onto my cooking. We've got our delicacies, and then the 8.3 stuff is, which one is it? Now we've got the famine evaluator and snack table. We should be able to get ourselves the other ranks on this one. Let me just have a look at this one. Oh, okay, Jizzing Rose. Hope the dentist appointment goes well tomorrow. Ghastly Goulash. This is one of them, isn't it? Baked Void Fin, Dubious Delight, Ghastly Goulash, Grilled Nasher, and Kebab. It's all of these, the delicacies. In terms of profits on each of these, let's have a look. Delicacies. So we've got Ghastly Goulash, 0.3 sale rate, and then we've got Dubious Delight, 0.18 sale rate, and Baked Void Fin. Ixie Sharks, good evening to you. Hope you're doing well. We're just going through a little bit of cooking here at the moment, seeing if there's anything else we could do. Now, I don't have any experience in selling any of these. I've got no idea. I mean, we do have 21 auctions of those on at the moment. We do have an okay sale rate on these. I would probably say Ghastly Goulash is looking like the best one there. Needing Questionable Meat, Aberrant Void Fin, and Malformed Nasher, if I was to look at these. So in order to make a group for this, I'm going to move this over to the side, and then we're going to go over to our cooking again. Go to our groups, and so in cooking we've got all of these. Let's change this one and add another one in, and we're going to call this one 8.3 delicacies, and we'll pop that in there. Now to add ones into this, we're going to again use the base group search, see if we can get this working. So Baked Void Fin. There we go, Baked Void Fin. we can add to, we'll change the search term here to be 8.3, and that can add me to delicacies, and we'll add that one item into there. And then we'll go and search for the next thing, which is dubious delight. Dubious delight, we'll add that into the group. And then the last one, ghastly goulash. There we go. Just made your first million a few days ago. Oh, that's fantastic. Congratulations, that's a really good milestone to go for. Because once you've got that first million, the rest flows through after that. Yeah, the Goblin, this is definitely one of the features that I'm enjoying making the most of, definitely. Will I update my base bins after this? I will, but as I'm using 4.10, I'm not sure how well it's going to work in terms of exporting and importing again. But what I'll try and do, I don't know if it'll work. If I go back to the retail version, I'm not sure whether everything will get messed up or not. So I'm a bit reluctant to do that. But maybe once more people have the beta version, then I'll post these paste bins for like the beta people. Maybe that would work. Waiting with a new group making for it. Yeah, I mean, I'm interested to see how these sell. I mean, they're currently telling me a profit for each of these. It crafts 5 for each of these, so I'm going to have to look at a crafting operation for each of these. So I'm thinking I would probably do a crafting operation of maybe, say if I made 10, that would make 15 of each. If I did 10 of each of these. So we'll go to our group now. So we'll look at 8.3 delicacies. It's got the baked void bin, dubious delight, and ghastly goulash in here. So we'll go through here in terms of crafting operations. We'll override the parent and we'll put in here, let's make 10 each of these and add that operation in. And then an auctioning operation, we want to do, we want to include crafting minimum. So average region and DB market craft minimum would be my standard one here. So let's add that one in. Just have a look at this, because I've got a feeling the posting cap has changed for a lot of these to be a default of 5, which isn't ideal. So let me just have a look at that. Craft min, this one, posting, post cap. So let's change the post cap here to 200 or something like that. That's weighted towards DB market, but again that's got a post cap of 5. Is that the same with my enchants and things, I wonder? Let's have a look at that in a moment. Mermaid Gabby, thank you very much for the follow. And Shah of Dave, thanks for stopping by. Hope you're doing well. Lovely to have you here. We're just going through and sorting out cooking in TSM 4.10 at the moment. So we're literally just adding in these 3. These ones, the grilled nashla and the kebab. Well, the kebab looks like it could be a decent sale rate, but it's currently at a negative profit there. Probably down to my mat cost of malformed nasha. Looking at those. So we also need to look at what we need to gather for these. So questionable meat, aberrant void fin. So let's have a look at our group here. We need to do another group. Whilst we're here, let's make another group up. So cooking 8.3 delicacies. Let's look under cooking mats here. We'll make another group here. And we will rename this one 8.3 ingredients. And then 8.2 is the briny flesh, and that 8.3 ingredients is going to be the aberrant void fin and things like that. So let's go over here and search for these. So aberrant, that's interesting, aberrant void fin isn't here, so maybe that's already in something different. Is it in my fish? No, it's not in my regular fish. Aberrant void fin isn't in any group that I have. Neither is questionable meat, so that one's not in the list. Scaling Gaming, good evening to you. So that's not in the base group search. We'll have to add that one in manually. Questionable meat, let's have a look. questionable meat is in. So let's add that in to 8.3 ingredients. Select group. Cooking mats 8.3 ingredients, questionable meat, and wild flour, dubious delight, fresh potato, aromatic fish oil, questionable malformed nasher. Let's look for that one. Malformed nasher we do have. So let's move that one in. So we're just missing aberrant void fin. Let's just look for void. Yeah, aberrant void fin is there. Maybe I spelt aberrant wrong. Let's go have a look. There we go. Okay, Game Cat, good night. I hope you have a lovely rest of your evening. Aberrant. Okay, thank you, Scallion. A simple typo makes all the difference. Okay, so we've got all of those ingredients in. So we now need to go to that group and we'll look at 8.3 ingredients. It should already have questionable meat. I feel like I'm missing something. Grilled nasher. No, it is just those three. Operations wise, we want to have a shopping operation. So we'll have a look for this, add more operations. I guess we will look for shopping average buy, even though we don't have these at the moment. So we'll add that operation for the moment. Now this probably needs a little bit of updating as well, because we're not using necessarily average buy anymore. We're actually going to be using smart average buy, which is a new thing. Now that's interesting. Again, you see that was red around the border, saying that's an invalid string, and now as soon as it's a correct string, it goes it takes the border away. In this, when I create groups, it automatically creates a group for you on TSM 3. When you do when you want to make a whole profession group from the start, you can still do that, I believe. I can't remember how you do it in the regular TSM. It's been a while since I've done it, because I tend to make mine on my own, certainly. Yeah, so smart average buy is literally the same as when you had it in the settings and under your accounting and you had smart average buy on. So basically it takes only the average of the amount of things you have in your bags and your bank at that time. So say I only have 100 veiled crystals, and my average buy price of those, that 100 was say 100 gold. But say historically over the course of me through BFA, my average buy of veiled crystals was something like 500 gold. That's average buy. So it takes into account your average across the spread. The 3 dots in crafting and TSM groups. Oh, okay, thank you. Let's have a look. Yes, create profession group. There you go. That would be how you could do it. I don't tend to use it myself though, because I like to make all my things up manually as much as I can. So from where we're at the moment, let's just do a browse, and we'll do a cooking 8.3 ingredients search. So let's see what we've got here in terms of malformed nasher, aberrant void fin, and questionable meat. Now these don't have an average buy price at the moment, so it's using DB market price instead. So my market value for this is 14. So what I'll end up doing is I'm going to buy probably 100 each of these. I don't know exactly how many I need, but I'm just going to take some for now so that I've got a stock, and then my average buy will go to that, and questionable meat, I'll buy out 100 of those, and I'll buy those. Okay, so even though that average is slightly higher, we'll come over here and we'll purchase all our bits and pieces, and now at least I have a smart average buy. So if I go and then do that cooking search again and run a shopping scan, these are now all saying 100%, because that is my smart average buy price of that 100 items. They couldn't have hidden it more though. Go Sierra, good evening to you, hope you're doing well. We're just going through creating ourselves a cooking group that we're doing for the new 8.3 food. We're going to try some out here. So looking at my cooking now, we've made at least those, so TSM groups, 8.3 delicacies. Let's actually just deselect all groups and see if we restock these. So it's telling me to make 2 each of these. Now, why would it say 2 each of these? My crafting operation told it to make, well, my crafting operation said to make 10. So that would make sense. I want to make 10 in quantity, and it's doing it twice because each one makes 5. So I'm going to have to change that. That's not how I envisaged it working. I thought it would be 10 crafts. So if I go back to the group and my delicacies here, and I go to the operation, so I did have 10 of each. I'm going to change this. In fact, I could just add more operations. We'll change this to, well, 55 is the one I have here. So what we'll do is use that one, and then we'll go and have a look here and go into my cooking. Killed Justigarth on Mythic today. Oh, congratulations. That's brilliant. So Smart Average is basically the average of things you've got in your bags and bank. It only looks at the number of items. It doesn't necessarily take into account that you might have looted those things. So say you bought 10 Tide Spray linen for an average buy price of 1 gold. But then you looted another 100 Tide Spray linen. It will then look at your average buy price over 110 Tide Spray linen, because that's how many you got. And maybe historically, after that 1 gold purchase, you bought, say, another load of Tide Spray linen at 50 gold. Then the average buy, the smart average buy, would actually be higher. So it's as smart as it can be. It's not fully smart because it can't work out whether you looted something or bought something, but it doesn't take into account your entire historical purchase price of something like Tide Spray linen. So it's slightly different. So if I go and restock these now again, we should now have 11 each of these, which would make more sense now. So that's telling me an estimated profit of 6,000 gold, the most profitable being at the top of the list at 6,528, then 347, then 200 on this. So it'll make them in that order. I'm still missing a load of aromatic fish oil here. So I've got some fish on me that's been hanging around in my guild bank for a while. So I can probably just process those. It was this slimy mackerel, I believe. I'm literally just going to... I could use a macro for this, but it's literally just easy for me to just spam my right mouse button, because I don't do this that often. I'll tend to process a stack every now and again. So I'm literally just going to go through and process this stack of fish. It's not necessarily the cheapest I bought, but it's what I do have a lot of stock of in my guild bank, so I might as well use them up for the moment. My mat cost for the oil comes from taking an average, a minimum price of all of the fish, and goes from there. Oh, Go Sierra, thank you very much for using your Prime. So kind of you. Thank you for your streams. Always chill to watch. That's very, very kind of you. Thank you for your support. Really do appreciate it. Let's have a whole load of emotes in the chat for you. And thank you, Anne Fox, for the follow. Good to have you here. So we've bought, well, we've sorted out the oil for the moment. I'm sure we've probably got enough now. Let's go have a look in terms of our group, no, in our gathering. So we need to buy some more fresh potato, wildflower. That's easy enough. But we do need another load of questionable meat and aberrant void fin. So I'll use our task list for this. Pavlov, thank you very much for the follow. Hope you're doing well. And Coach ATV, thank you also using your Prime. That's so kind of you. Welcome on board. I hope you're doing well. Here's a whole load of emotes for you to use as you will. Thank you very much indeed. The scrapping crafting items gives half the materials back. I'm not sure of an actual formula for the crafted items. You do get some materials back, like you do with the Tide Spray linen bracers. You get the nylon thread and the... but I've not looked at the actual numbers in terms of whether it's half the materials you put in. Cromcake says it's closer to 40%, so there we go. Parter, good evening to you. Hope you're doing well. So let's just go to our vendor. We want to buy the ones we want. So let's go here and pick up that, and then we'll go to the auction house and we'll browse for the things we need here. So aberrant void fin. Interestingly, the questionable meat now is at 60. Oh, this is DV market price. This isn't my smart average buy price. That's different to my shopping scan. So aberrant void fin. So if I just click on this now and click on buy out, it will automatically fill in the 43 that I need, which is really nice. If I look at the prices of these, 35 is actually reasonable for my server here. So I'm actually going to overbuy here, and I'm going to go for the 272. And then the questionable meat, because that average is actually higher, I'm only going to buy what I actually need, which is the 106 that's pre-filled in here. So I'll buy those off the bat like that. I'll take those. Depends if you have the disenchanting rod or not. If you level your enchanting 175, you can accept a quest and receive a special rod. Is that still for scrapping though? Does that work? Does the disenchanting rod give you something more back in terms of scrapping? I wouldn't have thought so. Or you were talking in general through the disenchanting? Lizard, good evening to you. Hope you're doing well. So we've got everything we need there. So we can go and craft these things. So let's go over to our crafting. So again, it's going to go for most profitable things first. You've done the raid. How was it, Lizard? How did you get on? So ghostly goulash. I'll run through those. And then we'll literally just go straight into the dubious delight. That's interesting. It's gotten stuck there. It did one and then it got stuck. So that's a common thing that happened before with TSM. Let me see if I can note down the time of that, and then I can report that one. So 21:34. Because that shouldn't happen so much. So if I click on that, that doesn't work either. So if I do a /reload, it should go back into it. Usually it's something to do with stacks and coming back from stacks and things like that. Does it make sense to have access to all the crafts at 150? In terms of like, well, you don't usually, because you have to get to profession level 175 for a lot of it. Scrapping bonus, since the scrapper is a goblin engineering invention canonically. That would be nice actually, Kate. And John's back, good evening to you. A bit under the weather, just had a 4-hour raid. Yeah, that's intense, certainly. Let's try that again. So dubious delight, let's go through all of that. So now that's running through fine. Now normally this will go fine into the next stack, which this has done. So that's interesting. I'll max at 175. Yep, no problem. Yeah, so at 175, yes, you should get access to everything. You just might have to jump through a few hoops to get it. Okay, interestingly, kebab is now telling me it's 1 gold 74 profit. That's based on my new prices of these, which is quite interesting. I could possibly add those in to my operation, but it's not a massive profit here at the moment. Let's just add them in anyway. Let's add in both of them. The grilled nasher doesn't seem to have a great sale rate, so I'm going to ignore that one. But I'm going to add this one into my group. Whether it's worth making them at that small profit margin, I doubt it. So let's go to my groups, base groups, K apostrophe Bab. There we go. K Bab, and we'll select the group. Cooking, it was 8.3 delicacies. We'll select that one. We'll add it in. Now I'm not sure whether it'll actually want me to recraft this one or not based on those prices. No, it's too close to the profit margins on that one, so we'll leave that one. And bonus for those that have Goblin engineering, even more so. We should have made it a thing for the tools of the trade. I feel like engineering got a little shafted. Yeah, that would be nice for tools of the trade, certainly. because recipes are locked to reputation, it'd be better to have 2 crafts on a class rather than craft and gathering. Yes, ideally, if you wanted to focus on reputation, sometimes it's useful to have the gathering profession for that profession on that character. I do that myself with a lot of my others, because not all of them require a huge amount of reputation, like blacksmithing and leatherworking and things like that. Okay, so we've made the things we wanted to make. Let's go post them on. Let's try out food. We're a little late to the party on food, but at least we've got some now. So let's go auctioning. Let's just look at those ones. Let's deselect all groups and just go for the 8.3 delicacies, and let's post those on and see what we have here. Angel Raven 13, thank you very much for the follow. Hope you're doing well. Nowadays it's best because it's tied to rep. Yeah. Drizzling Rose has gone off to bed already. Go Sierra. Got a dentist appointment tomorrow. So Ghastly Goulash 143, Dubious Delight 62. So we've got a profit 59, 31 and 18 on each of these. So let's post those on, see if we get ourselves some sales. I didn't check they were posting the right amount actually on those, but it should be fine. And whilst we're here and we're shopping, let's just check for the bracer mats. Let's just see if there's anything of a reasonable price. So Deep Sea Satin is a pretty good price at the moment, and Gilded Seaweave is quite cheap as well at 2 gold 65. I've got a lot of that at the moment. My mat cost is 6. I have 8,000 in my guild vault, so I don't really want to be buying any more of that at this stage. Tide Spray Linen is coming in here at 6 gold, so I've got no decent bargains on that. Coarse Leather's still looking at 424. My Bloodstained Bones at 902. So Bloodstained Bones have gone up in price since I last bought a load of them. Luckily I've got enough for the moment and enough Coarse Leather. I've still got 17,000 there, although that's probably not accurate because I crafted a whole load of bracers earlier. So those are most likely out of date now. So I'm okay on buying things here. I won't buy anything there. I don't want to spend too much of my gold at this stage. I want to generate sales more than anything else at the moment, because we're still hovering at 268,000. I'd like to get that up a little bit higher. I keep buying tokens and things and spending it. Right, so cooking wise, we've got a whole load of stuff here. Now some of this hasn't gone on. Is that because it's below min price? Let me just have a look. Let's select all my groups and run a post scan and have a look. So some of this is because of the posting caps that I did have on that. We probably could do with having a look at that. Things like the battle flags, the tie spray linen nets, maximum amount posted. We need to look at those operations, fix those up a little bit more. Yeah, it is expensive. It's always been hovering around the 4 to 5 gold mark for me, definitely. Even Farmer True is not on the Shadow Song. Not yet. We need to have Farmer True here, and we need to get us some good levels of Tide Spray linen coming down. Although it's okay at the moment, definitely. I would have ended it anyway. I did that with the pet thing earlier. I'll never live it down now. Right, okay, we've got a decent amount of things here. We've got some spare parts still available. So that's good for the moment. We've got a fair amount of stuff here. So in terms of finishing off for this character, we're at 60% here on Rustbolt Rebellion. It would make sense to try and finish this off whilst I'm here, but I'm not really inclined to do so. I'm probably more inclined to just finish off. We've done a little bit of bits and pieces on here. What I will do is I'll go back to Dalaran, and then we'll have a look at maybe seeing if we can level up. Let's check on Awakening first. Let's see if we can get a Silas proc. We'll see if that goes first, and then we'll move on to something else. On stacking Expulsum for further use, I mean to use it for the 32 bags. I only make as much Expulsum as I really need. I only really sort of go through in batches at the moment in cases like Samadan here. I've still got I've got 65 in my bags. I thought I had more than that, but I've spent a lot of that on other things. I did have about 200 and odd something in there. Right, let's just get myself over the way. So I don't tend to stack up them. I expulse them. I only tend to craft what I need at any one time, simply because it takes so long to make expulsum. I do it in batches and go from there. I certainly wouldn't be stockpiling it for later. I'll try and make as much use of it as I can at the moment. I want to keep my sales as current as possible, really. So let's go over to Awakening. No problem, Tignaro. Lovely to have you here. Excuse me. Hope to have you. Hope you come back soon on maybe Tuesday. Have a lovely rest of your evening. Right. Okay. So let's go through and do we get anything useful? We do. Fantastic. We get the Potion of Prosperity. So let's go and have a look at our alchemy and go to our TSM groups and restock selected groups. Don't have anything on at the moment. Let's check our auction house. See if there's anything in my auctions here at the moment. We have sold some Unbridled Fury, so that's good. Let's go and have a look and check the groups for this, for restocking. I wonder if my restocking has needs to be fixed. So we do have Greater Flask of the Endless Fathoms, 3 of those. That doesn't seem very many. 3 crafts of those. How many Endless Fathoms have we got on? Endless Fathoms. So we've got 76 in our bags. 76 in our bags and only 1 on the auction house. So there's definitely something wrong here. Our posting operation is wrong. We need to fix this up. No worries, right one too. Chores always do need to be done. When is the new TSM going to be available? The beta, I'm not sure when. According to Gundrops, soon TM, so that could be any time, I'm not sure. But if you keep asking them, I'm sure they'll eventually push it out, certainly. I think it's in a pretty good state at the moment, so I think I'm looking forward to when it does get released to more people. I'm just going to look at my operations. I've got a feeling my auctioning operation has defaulted to 5 again for each of these. So I need to fix this up. So post cap. Now, how many should I post on? I'm thinking I don't really want to do more than, say, 200 of those. Probably not 200 is probably too much, actually. 5 is too small amount. Let's try 100. 100 of any one potion. Mass 200. That should be 200. And potions. Excuse me. Potions. I don't think I use these now. These operations. It's used in just regular potions. Let's have a look at these. 1 times 5, which is that. 5 times 2, which would be 10, and 10 times 2, which would be 20, but I don't think I use these anymore. I don't need to do pretty stacks, so I'll be more as likely to do just that. Vial mats times 8 again, not really needed, but we'll keep that at the moment. Average DB market region, I don't think that's used for anything. What is that used for? Sell transmog, so that doesn't really want a posting cap of anything else other than 5. DB market times 10 needs to be 10, and crafting singles multiple versions of singles. Yeah, that should be fine. That's at 100. Okay, so those are fixed up enough. Looks pretty good so far. Yeah, definitely. Looks more like the TSM hybrid of TSM 4. Yeah, so Rasheen was saying earlier about how it does seem a bit like that. There's lots of things from TSM 3 coming in, and I think it's a very good thing, definitely. So right, auctioning, we need to post this lot on because we've not got enough things posted on. Obviously these are going below min price at the moment, so let's just move this down a little bit so we can see that. Some things we're undercutting the competition on, so that's fine. So let's post this lot on. So we're posting a decent amount of all of those on. Then we can browse my auctions again. I'm just going to close this down and open it up again. My auctions. There we go, that's fine. I'm going to check my crafting operation. So my groups, Silas, goods sellers, operations, crafting, Silas proc times 80. Let's just double check that. That just says 80, 40, 10. Crafting 55 there. 8, 6, 10. Okay, so those are all fine. So that would explain why we only need to make 3 of those, because we've already got a load of those on. I'm tempted to make some more, but I'll leave it as it is for the moment. So let's just double check that. Restock selected groups. It does say just the 3. So let's activate the Silas proc. Let's take 3 for now. And then it all depends on what we sell over the evening, and then we'll see what happens, and then we'll make use of this. So I better log off now, and then we'll come back to Awakening later. We've got a nice times 12 proc there, though. Did I post those on? Let me just do that before I do. Good evening, Will. Forgot the day, no problem. Every day's a Sunday. Let's go browse, auctioning, run a post scan, just in case. There we go, endless fathoms. 500 gold. It's a reasonable enough price, I think. What's my Silas value? 406. Yes, that's a good price. So let's log off of that. There we go. Okay, we're done on that. What have we got left time-wise? Another 10 minutes or so. So we could probably just very quickly... we've looked at everything here. We've done the cooking, which is all good. Let's just pop onto Bridget, see if we can just progress a little bit on the quests on this side. Went without power for 59 hours this week due to a derecho storm, which you learned because you never heard of it before. I've never heard of one either, right one too. That sounds, came through like a tornado, sideways windstorm followed by a major thunderstorm. Oh wow, well I hope everyone's safe and well. That does sound very dramatic, certainly. Got power back late Friday night. Of course it was stifling heat, and now the weather is much more bearable. as would always happen, certainly. Never seen green profit on your server for flasks. I know, Cromcake, it's very hit and miss, even on Shadow Song here. And Keder2, thank you very much for the follow. We've done that already, that was easy. We observed that. Then we can head over this way. And we need to do Logan's Blood Smeared, and we'll do that. Yeah, you need to make sure that you've set yourself up for the Silas problem and your prices correctly. I've got a whole video on alchemy for that. We don't get these sort of things, so it's a waffle when it hit. Yeah, I can imagine. Your server is high pops, everyone's competing very aggressively. Yeah, that's the problem really, isn't it? Okay, where do we need to go here? Logan, that'll be you. We'll do you. Oh, you're evading. Okay, that's interesting. Let's hope we can continue this. There we go. Run through all of this. Nice, easy bit of levelling just at the end. There's a shaman hiding behind there. I'm in combat from something. Now we're not. Okay, we can move out. Something odd is happening here. We can probably just get ourselves out at the moment. There we go. That's better. Sonic the Hunter, thank you very much for the raid. How are you? How was your stream? Thanks for stopping by. Let's just going to move over here, and we've done... Oh, we need to smear his blood. Where do we need to smear the blood? I assume it's on here. Let's have a look. There we go. Oh, now Den Mother has aggroed me. Do apologise. There we go. Welcome everyone from Sonic the Hunter's stream. Hope you're all doing well. We are literally just going through and doing a little bit of levelling. We've been doing gold making and going through TSM 4.10 at the moment. Shopping at prime time, then you have no chance. Yeah, you need to get very decent prices on your materials. And we're stuck in combat again, so let's see if we can get out this way and then fly from here. Then we can turn in these quests. Nice and easy, a little bit of levelling. Get ourselves closer to 120 eventually, so more professions is better for more gold making. Anchorweed is up to 70 gold in your server, and Zenithid at 12 last I checked. Wow, that's an interesting diversion between the two. I mean, I guess you could always do the Anchorweed cooldown on as many ults as you have. That would be useful. Even with silos set up correctly and only looking for 105 times 0.95, flasks are still way cheaper than how they're doing in making gold. I don't know. Sometimes it makes no sense. Right, we'll hand this one in. And then we need to pick up another quest. It's just outside. Right down here, in fact. And then we need to pick up the quest from the crab trap. That's interesting. Is that down underwater? I guess it is. Let's go have a look. Yes, down here. Wrecked crab trap. Miles away down here. Does my guide work for 8.3? Yes, it does. The only thing with my... I assume you're thinking of the Bracer Super Shuffle, in which case, yes, but just bear in mind that you may get slightly cheaper prices from Notorious or Sinister Gear sometimes, so check the crafting cost of your bracers there. It's not taken into account in the formula, but on the whole it does work, yes. We'll go over here. Aztec Warrior 74, thank you for the follow. Turning quest, that one. Okay, the flesh of two huge pincers. Okay, we'll head over this way. Oh, Sonic, thank you very much for the follow as well. Probably people using their stocks, just imagine the price of material for cheap, and people buy much cheaper than yours. Oh, Saravok, thank you very much for using your Twitch Prime. Very much appreciated. Thank you for your support. Hope you're doing well. Lovely to have you here. Thank you very much. Raisin forgot even to follow. That's embarrassing. Don't worry, I did that to the Shah of Dave. I didn't even have him on a follow the other week, so it happens to us all, certainly. The flesh of two huge pincers. Is that these two strand crabs? That would be funny if it is. No, it's not those. That would have been funny if it was. What do we need to do here? Okay, the bait. We'll do a bait instead. Now does something come up? I'm not quite in the right place, I don't think. I think I maybe need to stand here. Use inhale from the bladder to breathe underwater. Breathing bladders. Okay, the bait. Let's read this. Two huge pincers, the mother of all crabs, places upon her island out of the waters of the southwest. Pay her a visit and return with her meat. Turn around. I could burst into the song about shiny here, but I won't because I'm not very good at it. There we go, that's easier. And we'll do this one. Collins96, thank you for the follow. Love that dark green, that's brilliant. Means use this for a while. Thanks for all you do. You're more than welcome, Saravok. Also, alchemy is for Big Guys Market on high and full pop servers. They can control the market, don't let people run into alchemy. Yeah, it is a very large crab. It would have been nice if that was the two small crabs that it had to kill. You have difficulty to make operations and how to divide your groups, and you want to buy the dino before Shadowlands. It can be quite intimidating at first, Mermaid Gabby, but take your time with it and do simple groups, simple operations. They don't have to be anything fancy, and just build from there slowly. Generates more herbs than they have to sell. Diversified crafting plans will sell more herbs indirectly. That could be another option. Essentially subsidising your alchemy with enchanting during the raiding season because demand was up and actually profitable, but you still had to rely on the Silas procs. Yes, the Silas procs do make everything, certainly. Many characters on Savage Blood in your garrison. The add-on work orders complete can help you track the work orders. Okay, thank you, Sirius, for that one. Right, that lot's done. Now we need to... I think we need to probably breathe underwater for this, but let's have a look what's down here. Oh, there's a hook. Do we need to do... What do we need to do here? Let's crab trap. Okay, we can do those. We need to bait the hook. That would make more sense. Let's head on up. Let's go over to where the hook is. Don't think we can actually select it. So let's bait on the hook. And then we'll wait for something to come, I imagine. And then we can kill it. Meanwhile, here it is. He who plays with food. Wait for this to come round. This is a great big shark, certainly. Now, can we tag it at some point? There we go. There we go. We'll bring in our shark. Don't know where our crows are coming from underwater, but they're doing a great job. Okay, you're slain, and then we'll head on down. Let's have a look. We need some more traps. So I think we're going to run out of time slightly on this. Let's just jump backwards and see to go a little bit faster. 8 of these, and then I can hand them in. If I can't do 8 of them in the next couple of minutes, let's see what we can do. I guess we could try and mount up between them. Depends on how many there are, and how spread apart they are. We're just on the edge here, and there's lots of sharks around. As good as penguins, everyone knows that. Well, the corvids do have a brilliant mind, so I wouldn't be surprised. Can we actually underwater? We can breathe underwater, which is fine, but it'd be nice if we could swim faster underwater. You know how you can do stuff on the ground so much better in some of the underwater zones in Cataclysm? Something like that would be really nice. There's a great big turtle over there. Right, how are we doing? 59, almost done. You'll do it, by the way. English isn't very good, sorry, 6. No problems, Momo. Lovely to have you here. Hopefully we make sense enough to you. Do I see the chest again? Which chest is that, lizard? We're just, I think we've got 5 of 8. One more. 6 of 8. Is there one in there? Can't see it. There's one over there. I'll jump up over the top of that one. And then hopefully we'll be able to get past that one. Oh, there we go. We've got an extra one there. Bottom thresher. I'll let them take care of it whilst I go over this way. Oh, from Tolda Gore. No, this is different. This is just regular questing. It'll be nice to see the. Oh, it's still after me. There we go. There we go. Let's deal with that one. And what's the best raw gold dungeon to farm? I have a speed tuner looking to blast through some dungeons with. If you check out Kraken Latte's videos, she has a whole load of different ones ranked. Oh, we've got an extra one there. But a lot of the Mr. Pandaria and Waters of Draenor dungeons and raids can be quite good. And Skyreach being one of them, I think. Okay, let's go turn this in and then we'll be done. We can get ourselves to our rested area. Yeah, it's got a really nice style to her videos. I highly recommend them. I've mentioned them several times on the WoW Economy blog. They're short and they're to the point, and they have a nice quirky humour to them. There we go. That lot's done. Then we'll head over here, and then we'll head inside. And we'll just go inside here, and we'll do our rested XP inside here. And that is me done for my time. I'm almost, I'm completely done with my time. So I will say a big, massive thank you to everyone who's hung out and chat tonight. Really enjoyed your company tonight. It's been great fun. I hope you've all enjoyed looking at a little bit more of TSM 4.10. If you do have any other questions for TSM 4, please do ask me either in Discord or in Twitter, or my next stream is going to be on Tuesday evening, so we have that as well. We will go over and have a look, see if we can throw a host or raid over to someone. Goose McGander, thank you for the follow, and Alt Tab, thank you also for the follow. Who do we have on? We have we have our regular one, our Nota, we can go and do. I don't see anyone else on to throw one over to, so let's throw one over to our Nota. Let's do that. Just mute that one through. There we go. And Rive, thank you very much for the follow. And Quickstep, thank you also for the follow. Smeesus I don't have on my list actually. I'll have to look that one up. Remind me in Discord, Darkwing, and I'll have a look. There we go. And is that Chachadot or Shashadot? Thank you very much for the follow as well. Right, thank you all. Let's set this up, /raid Nota 42. I'll get that going. It's called losing stream. Right, okay. I'll check them out. Thank you everyone. Until Tuesday, have a lovely start of your week Sunday number 2. And until then, happy gold making. Hope you have a lovely rest of your evening, and we'll send a raid over to our Nota. There we go.